I've been feeling just a little bit low. Got to get back to the show and we'll fly. Yeah. You don't have to feel like you're on your own. No one should have to dance alone, not tonight. I've been looking for somebody to make memories in a bank forever in time. There's no reason to be hard to find, 'cause we've already lost our mind. You and me, we're gonna write a little history. You and me, just show me love and then you'll see. Memories that we make, they are never gonna fade for a lifetime. We don't give no shade if you wanna hide away. We just have to find a place that can feel up in the memory bank.
You wanna know my feelings every time I look in your eyes. Baby, I can feel your energy, it's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to RFDL for week 6, day number 1. I'm Ecliptic Fades. I'm joined by Aerolax and Firestreak today. How are we doing, guys?
Let's go! I'm hyped. Let's run it. Let's go. Fade, let me in.
Hyped.
Put me in, Fade.
Okay,
All right.
calm down. I mean, geez, we're just starting on the day. Got a lot of energy for you, and we had some excellent games last week, and we got some excellent games this week as well. So excited to show those off for you guys today. It's going to be a great one. And guys, we talked about last week on the podcast, but we had 4 game 5s last week. Do you expect the same thing again for week number 6?
I mean, I think we'll have quite a few more game 5s. I'm hoping that we at least get half of the games, or half of the series at game 5s this week. So if we're able to do that, we're in for another great week. So hopefully we get that. We'll just need to wait and see, though.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we do as well, because just what we had last week was nothing short of incredible, and that's really what we like wanted to see from this league, because we had, yeah, as you said, 4 Game 5s, a Game 4, and a Game 3. That's really, really close between all the teams.
Yeah, I have to agree. All of these teams have been pretty close. Let's talk about last week a little bit. We're going to talk about the games that happened last Sunday, as you guys can see here. Starting off, I think this is actually, this was day 2, yeah. Talk about Gentle Paws and Twisted Tails. Twisted Tails being one of those teams that finally got their first win on the season. And I mean, both teams looked great, but Twisted Tails finally pulling off that first win. That one's going to be huge going into their next week. So I'm very excited to see what they pull out for that for this week, as they will be playing at the end of the day today. However, they will be going against LumiMawcity, which it's going to be a tough team in itself to beat.
Yeah, LumiMawcity is definitely a team that's been showing up strong lately, and I mean, wanting to see how they stack up this week, but that's definitely a tough matchup for any team right now, so I think that will be a really good series, and that it has the potential to go deep, so we'll need to see.
Yeah, but of course you gotta remember that Twisted Tails is coming off of their first win of the season, and they are going to be just dying for another. And I know that as a player of LumiMawcity, we're definitely going to have to be wary of that.
Yeah, and you know, once you get that momentum from that first game win, it kind of all ramps up from there. So I'm expecting to see a little bit more coming out from Twisted Tails today than we've seen previously. And I expect it to be a good match. But let's talk about our next match here, which will be X3 Tactics and Cloud9. And immediately you can see that there were a lot of tech issues with that one. But X3 Tactics still being in control basically the entire time of the match. It was still very close from Cloud9. They were getting some very good opportunities coming in, but X3 Tactics still remains at the top of the leaderboard, and they showcased why in this match.
Yeah, I mean, X3 Tactics, they're the team to beat right now, and I mean, Cloud9's a really good team in their own regard, but yeah, X3 just never really looked to be even pressured in this series. They just look to be really in control of every game, and they almost made it look just easy a lot of the time, even though Cloud9 is not an easy team to go against, so hats off to them, and we'll need to see if they're able to carry that momentum even more into this week.
Yeah. And one thing I just want to mention as we go into the next matches here, about that X3 versus Cloud9. Cloud9 had pretty much the same stats on offense, 2 goals every game, but X3 Tactics goals were going down game by game. And that just showed that Cloud9's defense was improving every single game, but they just were not able to catch up, sadly.
Yeah, it definitely was a good game. It definitely gave us some experience, so looking forward to playing them again at some point. But Foxland versus Big Dragon Squad, showcased on the podcast as our match of the week. This one was intense, going back and forth the entire time, and
it did not disappoint.
No, it did not. And we actually had Rue the Fuzzy on the podcast to talk a little bit about that match. And they gave us a little bit of insight on where their mental was going into Game 5s, that they're very confident in the team that they have, and that they're not really worried about goals scored against them at any capacity. And I really think that that mentality is what leads BDS to having such close Game 5 wins as they had once again here.
See, here's the thing with BDS though, Faye. Just like with Twisted Tails kind of had the opposite of that. But despite what your mental is, if you repeatedly go to those Game 5s, and you're either repeatedly winning all of them, you're eventually going to drop one of those. So, desirably for hopefully not this week, because we're playing them this week, and yeah, we're going to do our best to be able to take this to a Game 5 or, you know, have a really good series. But eventually, if you keep going to game 5s, you're going to drop one of those. So I want to see them in future weeks, maybe putting those series away a bit sooner, only taking it to a 4 or 3 game series if they're going to keep up the momentum that they've established up to this point in the season.
Yeah, but like this series just was nothing short of intense. Like as I was going through like picking up clips for this one, like there were so many double taps in this series alone. It was insane.
Yeah, it makes sense when you have the brilliance of Meezer and Reverb on one side versus Taka and Javian. I think it's kind of obvious that you are going to get a lot of high-flying plays. I expect the same later on during the mid-season when we start seeing some of these teams get into 2v2s and 1v1s with each other. I'm expecting to see just as many clips, as that's going to be very exciting to see. But we've got some great games to go on today. But before we talk about the games, let's talk about the leaderboard. Let's see where everybody is at the start of week number 6. You can see the end of the standings up the end of week 5. X3 Tactics up in the top with a game differential of 11. Far above second place with a game differential of only +3. But you can see down at the bottom there, actually throughout the middle, you can see second place is basically tied except by game differential. Third place is tied with fourth exactly on game differential. And then 5th and 6th, still 3 and 2, but just a little bit of a different game differential for them. And then 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th are all 2 and 3. Very close on game differentials as well. But Cloud9 going to be at the bottom of the pack there with that -4. The sweep from X3 Tactics definitely not going in their favor there. But they're going to have to try and come back this week, try to go 3-3 on the season, and hope that everybody else above them ends up losing their matches to start climbing back up that leaderboard. His placement will be pretty important on the leaderboard going into the mid-season tournament here in about 6 weeks. I can't believe that we're at week 6, and 6 weeks away we will be at the midpoint of the season. And actually at the end of the day today, we will be officially 1/4 of the way through league play, which is extremely exciting. You got to think about how last season, week 6 was mid-season already, and we're not even, we're getting 1/4 of the way. We're getting a halfway to mid-season today. So the scale of the league has grown way beyond what we had previously. So I'm very happy to see that. But we have a lot of games for you this week. We can take a look at the schedule right now. We are going to be starting off this week with our featured matchup, Purrsion 1 versus OwOptic Gaming. Today we will be following that with BDS versus Gentle Paws, and ending off the day with Twisted Tales versus LumiMawcity. 3 very exciting games, with the rest of them being played tomorrow. Which one are you guys excited for today?
I mean, I'm assuming I'm not allowed to choose my own fade. But under that assumption, I'm going to say I'm really looking forward to Purrsion 1 and OwOptic. Like, this OwOptic squad has been really strong, and I think they might just have a surprise up their sleeve for us today. And then Purrsion 1 showing the strength in their new roster last week. I want to see how it holds over now that OwOptic has had an entire week to prepare for that. And an entire week to, they know what to expect out of Purrsion 1 with that new roster now. And I'm looking forward to seeing kind of how that plays out for Purrsion 1, changing Golden for Sam. So we'll need to see.
We will indeed need to see. As for my pick for the one that I'm looking forward to, I'm honestly I'm honestly really looking forward to that BDS versus Gentle Paws, because just like BDS I feel has just been on a tear lately, and Gentle Paws is definitely going to be eager for a win after that loss against Twisted Tails. And I feel like both teams are going to have just a very big drive to win that game, and I feel it's just going to be a massive clash.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be a really good one as well. I am actually looking forward to, I gotta say, the last match of the day. Twisted Tails and LumiMawcity is going to be a really good one. Avid coming back onto the LumiMawcity roster, I believe, for this week. So we get to see the Airlax and Avid combo once again. However, they are going to be facing a Twisted Tail squad just fresh off of their first win, who I'm assuming is going to bring a lot more firepower to the roster. And I'm very excited to see which way that goes, as it really could go any way, especially with Twisted Tails' habit of getting to Game 5. But with that, I think we should start talking about these teams. Actually, we are going to be seeing a bit of a problem here. Very interesting.
NA production?
Not NA production, but apparently, this just in for this coming up match. They Purrsion 1 apparently having a problem getting a hold of Hayes right now. So they might be looking for a last second sub of the GC1 variety. So if you are a free agent watching right now and you are GC1 or close to GC1 but not above GC1 and you want to sub in for Purrsion 1, this is your call. Let Cookie Cat know or say something in the free agents channel and ping Cookie that you would be willing to sub for them. But they are looking for a last minute sub. Cookie Cat might have to sub in if no one else comes in. But that would be very interesting if Cookie has to pop in for his team. What do you guys think about this?
I mean, that would leave them with what, a GC2 with 2 Champ 3s? That's what it would end up being, right?
I believe
because
Cookie
if
is
so,
a C3.
Yeah, Cookie is a C3. And oddly enough, that would be the same roster composition as I had last season with Gentle Paws last season. And we saw how well that worked out for us last season when the league overall was slightly lower ranked on average. So if at all possible, I think Cookie will be looking to avoid that situation. But if push comes to shove, I'm pretty sure he would be excited to be able to get some games in with his team. So we'll need to see how it turns out.
Yeah, and I do see in the chat Bezic saying, bring Golden back. And I think with that, we're going to talk about our first team because a very interesting situation has developed. We're going to talk about OwOptic Gaming. And the reason why Golden cannot sub back in for Purrsion 1 is because Golden is going to be subbing in for OwOptic Gaming going into today. So the storyline is already here. Let's talk about that. Golden just got removed from Purrsion 1, and now he's subbing in for the team that is going directly against them in this first week, being a free agent. Obviously, there's no bad blood between Golden and the rest of Purrsion 1. It was very amicable, but Golden is probably going to be playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Would you guys agree?
I mean, let me tell you, my guy Golden over there, great player. He's on his revenge arc, let me tell you. He's coming in and he's about to put everything he has in this game, just going full scale revenge mode on his old team. Not that there's any bad blood, but still, anytime you get released, you're going to want to make that point. You're going to want to be like, hey, I'm the real deal here. This is why I should still be on that team. So, I mean, I'm all for it. Like, Golden... I'm looking to see Golden completely go ham in this game.
Yeah, that's honestly actually kind of hilarious. I didn't even realize that was happening. Just, oh, that's so funny. But yeah, honestly, yeah, I think that like that might be like a little bit of something that's happening in the mental, even though the swap was amicable. But either way, it's very funny that that's happening. But I'm very, very excited to see how that goes. I'm also really hoping that Purrsion 1 can actually find a sub for Hayes as well, because I really want to see this match.
Yeah, well, we are hearing that apparently Cookie also might not necessarily be around for the team right now, as they're trying to message him and he's not responding. And to be fair, I haven't been able to message, I haven't gotten a response from Cookie either today, so he might not be, he might just not be around, but we are getting word that they might be able to find a sub. However, it might not necessarily be the best sub for the team. They said they might be having some bad internet, but I mean, we kind of have to see who would be able to pop in. Fire's trying to help the team look for a sub as we continue on, and technically the match would start about right now, so we do have some time for them to be able to find a sub, if possible. And if nobody else shows, Ivy would just have to be the sub of choice going for them going into it. But playing on EU means that the entire match would take place on NA East, which I believe Sam is EU, and I believe Drake, or not EU, they are West. No, Drake is West. Sam is not, I believe. I can't remember.
So Sam, I believe, is East, and Daki is West.
Oh, yeah.
And then, yeah, so I think Daki is the one that's West, and then Gala, I believe, is East. So they'll have one West player playing on East, which is always a little bit rough, but I'm sure Daki will manage. Daki prefers West over, or East over Central anyways, so.
Yeah.
Apparently,
the Central servers can be whack.
This coming in from Daki in the lobby, because Golden knows that Purrsion 1 needs a sub, he's going to wake up Devil. So, a potential GC1 there, who will be able to go up against Golden once again. And this is also something you got to think about. Devil is still healing from a injury that they got close to the start of the league. I think they still are recovering for a couple more weeks, so they might not be playing at their best level, but they will still be able to play a consistent game. I have heard that they are playing almost on par again and should be able to play normally. So yeah, Daki is telling me that their hand is about 90% healed. So they should be able to play at a decent capacity, and that would make for a really interesting matchup going into this.
Yeah, we'd have yet another battle of the roommates, which would be really fun.
Especially with both of those roommates being substitutes, it becomes even more of an even playing field for both of those two. But I mean, I know Devil would absolutely be chomping at that opportunity, as I know he wants to be on a team again. He's ready to go, and he's completely chomping at the bit from the times I've talked to him since he departed from Cloud9. So, I mean, he's going to be looking forward to getting back in. He has a chip on his shoulder right now, and I think he would be showing up full guns blazing, ready to go, and ready to do his best to make an impact on this match. So that would definitely be interesting to see if we're not able to find anyone else who's ready to show. So
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, that-
Oh, sorry.
no, that would definitely be interesting. And honestly, I think that might play out a little bit in Purrsion 1's favor because Devil is a very strong GC1. So I mean, we'd need to. I'd be interested to see how that would play out for him.
It sounds like
But yeah,
Devil is going to be coming in for the sub. I think that I'm gonna let them know. That Fire was saying that they could join, but I think Devil is good to go on that, and I think Devil would be the best choice for them. Yep, it looks like Devil is going to be getting on and playing for Purrsion 1. That's going to be very interesting, but let's talk about the Purrsion 1 squad as we get ready for this match. I mean, Hayes will not be here, but Drake and Sam will be, along with Devil, so we still get the Drake-Sam combo. So I think that's what Purrsion 1 are going to need to rely on in this game, not knowing exactly how Devil is going to be able to play going straight into this. What do you guys think is going to help this roster beat OwOptic Gaming being put in this situation?
I mean, Drake-Sam combo, they're used to each other. They know how each other plays, so I'm sure they'll have good chemistry. And honestly, Devil we saw last season how well he was able to adapt and how well he was able to just fit into any roster, especially since he was playing against Gentle Paws for 4 of those 5 substitutes. But he's very adaptable. He's able to fill a variety of roles, and I don't think he's going to have much of a problem being able to just fill in for this Purrsion 1 squad.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any problem whatsoever, because as you were saying, like, they're still going to have to rely on that Drake-Sam combo, but Devil can definitely adapt to any team that they're put on. And since Purrsion 1 really just already has that synergy of those two players that are on the roster for this match, I think that just makes Devil's job even easier, because he really just needs to position himself around them, and it'll be good.
Yeah, I will say, so with Devil coming in, they have avoided any EU players being on, so we will be playing the entire match on US Central. So that is going to be to the advantage of OwOptic, I would say. I think that it's going to be a tough game for Purrsion 1, but if they can rely on that Drake and Sam combo and then have Devil line the back with their play style, I think it's going to work out. However, Devil is a very aggressive player, so I don't think being relegated to the back line is going to be the best thing for them. However, they have only just woken up, and that might make them a little bit more sluggish than usual going into this match.
I mean, I've only tried to get on Rocket League right after waking up one time, and I said never again. So, I mean, hopefully it doesn't affect them too much, but we'll just, different people react different ways to right after they wake up. So we'll need to see how he's able to react to it, but I mean, if there's anybody that's going to be able to handle it, it is the go-to substitute from last season, being Devil. So we'll just need to see. I'm rooting for both of the substitutes in this series pretty heavily, and I mean, I hope both of them come out and have a really good day today.
Yeah, I'm really hoping so as well. And I just want to mention once again that, like, both of these guys are roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates. But also, they're both being subbed in for the team, so they don't really have that, I guess, like that drive of like being on that team. But I know for a fact that they both have that drive to beat the other person and most likely just rub it in their face for probably the next week. So that's definitely going to be very, very interesting to see.
And with that being said, I think both of these subs have a chip on their shoulder a little bit based on previous results, as obviously Golden wanting to beat the team that he was just removed from. And on the other side, Devil, in their last match against Golden, did end up getting 3-0'd by them. So I'm betting they're going to want a little bit of revenge too going into this. And good news, guys. I am going to start getting the lobby set up. And we're going to be getting into this one very soon.
I'm very, very excited for this matchup. I think it's going to be a close one. There's definitely a lot of unforeseen storylines going into this matchup. So, I mean, who's going to come out on top? The Golden substitute from last season, or Golden, the current substitute for OwOptic? We'll need to see.
Well, let's
Indeed,
go ahead.
we will.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
Oh.
Aerolex.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm pretty sure these guys are ready to get playing. So let's get started going as soon as possible. We got our first match of the day, guys. It's going to be Purrsion 1 versus OwOptic Gaming. Both of these guys tied on the leaderboard. We're going to see which of these two can go out on top as we start match 1 immediately. Having some NA production, and we're gonna get straight into that. I mean, obviously I can see Rocket League. Why can't you see Rocket League? That's why you can't see Rocket League. We're gonna try and get this moving as soon as possible. You can see the overlay, but why can't we see Rocket League? Hello?
I mean, I can't see anything either. However, it is looking like both teams are a bit low on boost right now.
There we go.
And there we go. We see a great save coming out from Drake down the middle of the field. Devil's clearing it to the side as we are finally able to see this match. And I mean, what trends were you seeing a bit early on, Fade?
Well, I'm seeing the trend of Golden scoring immediately for OwOptic Gaming, and Drake getting a good touch, but Daki pre-jumps it, and Sam is put in a very tough position, tries to flick it forward, but just doesn't have the height on it, and Golden will be able to take that first goal. Definitely what OwOptic Gaming needs is a start to the aggression. Meanwhile, for Purrsion 1, they're going to need to try and find something here quick and not let this stem into more than a 1-goal lead, as that's where OwOptic Gaming really does play their best, and it might happen right here. Not going to be able to happen. And you can see right on the screen, might see a bit of a name change for Gala. Birthday Boy buff coming in. We're going to have to see if that plays to his advantage or not coming into the match, as we have not seen a birthday buff come through just yet this season. Shot going from Devil, not going to be able to make it. And another shot going towards the net from Sam, who will read that off the bounce and will be able to tie this one up.
And that's really good pressure from Sam. He's very patient trying to take that shot on net. He knows he has time, so he chooses not to rush the shot, and that just that makes the OwOptic backline just that little bit more awkward, because neither of the people in net feel quite comfortable just going up to challenge that, because they know they're beat to that ball. So good patience there, well played. Now we see Daki trying to clear it out, is able to get it over Drake, which is going to allow Gala to take possession, trying to get it mid, but Devil's there to clear it to the corner. Drake, hard touch off a back wall, which is going to let Daki try to get control, unable to effectively get it though. Golden trying to pass it middle, but Gala is going to get beat to that one as it takes a hard bounce off a back wall. Fortunately, Golden is able to get a bump. Daki taking possession in the breakout. I don't think I've seen Daki in the breakout in a long time, as Devil clears it to the side. Devil is going to play it towards net. Gala's going to have a pretty easy save for him though. And we're going to see OwOptic try to take possession. A little bit of a double commit on that. Both players trying to go for the ball there, as Sam is going to try to play it off of wall. That's going to let Devil clear to the other side, and we're seeing a bit of ping pong come out early on in this game, Fade.
And one thing I'm definitely going to be looking for, more than the alternate car presets that some of these guys have, which is becoming a bit of a meta here in RFDL. A lot of people are starting to use these off-meta cars, and it's been working out. Shot going in from Sam will be off to the side and cleared by OwOptic. But what I wanted to also talk about is that Golden coming into this one might be a little bit stronger in the mental aspect of this game, even though Purrsion 1 is going to be able to score their second goal and go one ahead. Excellent shot from the pass from Devil, and Drake able to put that right off the crossbar and in. But what I was saying is I want to see what information Golden can give to OwOptic Gaming about how Purrsion 1 plays. Now, obviously, they only really played with Drake on the squad right now. They didn't play with Sam, and they have not played against with Devil, at least in the RFDL sense. But Drake shutting me up again. They just won't let me talk. All I'm trying to say is that Golden should know how to counter this Purrsion 1 squad, but it's not looking like it so far, Fire, as Purrsion 1 goes up 3-1.
And Purrsion 1, those last two goals are just finding OwOptic just a little bit awkward. And I don't think that's on the part of Golden. I'm seeing a couple of double commits, just a couple of unorthodox plays from OwOptic coming out. So I'm going to be looking to see if they're able to maybe clean those up a bit. They showed a little bit of that last week, which is something we didn't see in previous weeks. So we'll need to see if they're able to fix that up really quickly. But we're going to see Golden play it into the corner. Devil tries to leave it for teammate, but teammate is not there. Drake is going to control this into his own back corner. Gala chipping away towards the middle of the field. Sam going to take possession, taking it off of sidewall. Maybe not the setup he wanted, but Golden is still going to need to get a good save there and is able to get what he wants. Golden taking a shot on net. Drake unable to get the clear, but there's no follow-up, which is going to leave OwOptic a bit overcommitted, which is going to allow Sam to put yet another one home for Purrsion 1.
And I might be wrong here, but I thought I did see Gala go to challenge that ball, actually hit it straight down, and Daki kind of had double committed on that ball. I think he thought he had a better shot, and I think he might have been right, as that could have been in the back of Purrsion 1's net. Unfortunately, the double commit is going to lead to a goal, and then Daki trying to put one into the corner of the net, immediately going to be stopped out once again by that Purrsion 1 defense that we know they're really good at. And that is something that I wanted to bring up going into this match, is that Purrsion 1, while they're still a very offensive heavy team, they are very well rounded in defense as well, and it makes it really hard to score on them. So you cannot be giving them these sort of goal leads, these 2-goal leads, these 3-goal leads that we've been seeing recently, because once they get there, they become a brick wall on defense. Very insane to try to put a shot on them. And it's going to make it a lot harder for OwOptic Gaming, as 10 seconds left in this game number 1. Purrsion 1 is going to be able to take this game.
Yeah, Purrsion 1 definitely has this one on lock, but I'm seeing Golden kind of go for plays that I'm not accustomed to seeing him go for. Some more fancy double taps, some more mechanical plays. And, I mean, it's great to see. It just hasn't quite worked out for him. Right there at the end of that game, it did look like the ball was poised to be able to roll into Purrsion 1's net on there. Didn't quite get there before time ran out. However, I think that's something that OwOptic can take kind of put on their back and be like, okay, we were about to put another one on them. Let's carry that into the next game, and hopefully they're able to do that and tie up this series.
And I can see, first off, big shout out to the chat, the chat in game, as they are all wishing Gala a happy birthday, and you love to see that they are being so nice, and even as they are playing in the series, they are still very nice to one another. They're trying to respect, they're saying happy birthday, they're being very kind. That's what you want to see from the league, and what I want to see is how OwOptic Gaming are going to do in this game number 2. as we're going to get into it really soon. All I can say is that I am extremely excited to see how OwOptic is going to try and come back here, because I'm sure they can. They've just had a couple of problems getting that momentum going in their favor, but they got to be careful of the double commits, because that is going to really hurt them going into this series.
Yeah, and I'm starting to see OwOptic towards the end of that match, maybe for that last like 30 seconds or so, they seem to be potentially adapting a little bit to the difference in playstyle between T-Park and Golden. Golden, both of them slightly more on the defensive end on these rosters, but Golden definitely being a lot more of a patient defensive player, while T-Park is a bit of a faster defensive player. So we'll need to see if they're able to carry that forward. Golden going for a pinch. Gala getting a dunk, but Drake is there to scoop it up. Docky trying to force this towards the middle, but Sam is going to play it back over to the side as we see Golden starting to shadow Sam. Gala going to step up, get a challenge. That's going to be off of corner wall. We see Docky up for that early, but he's unable to put that one towards the middle of the field, which is going to leave the ball hanging there awkward for a second. Sam taking control, going for an air dribble, potentially looking for a little turtle flick there, unable to get it. And that was looking threatening for a second, but OwOptic does a really good job of putting that away from their own net. Golden getting a challenge that's going to fall towards the middle of the field where two Purrsion 1 players commit for it. And the ball's going to fall towards the middle, but once again, OwOptic just looking a bit more composed on their defensive front than they did last game.
And I'm definitely waiting to see who can get the first goal here. As I've said before, when Purrsion 1 gets those goal leads, it becomes very hard to score on them. And I think Drake is the center of that defensive lineup. You can always see he's waiting patiently in net, able to clear any ball that might be awkward. You need touches like that, but you also are going to need follow-ups from the rest of OwOptic Gaming. Golden was just not in the right spot to get that pass from Gala, but you got to be able to get past Drake as the first step. And then you've got the rest of the team to also worry about on the offensive line and the counterattacks that they might be going for. But you really got to start trying to get that ball away from Drake. And along with that, you're going to need some good follow-ups. Docky has to stay back. Golden tries to follow that up but doesn't get the touch and has to save the touch going near the own net. Now Gala and Golden both in the corner. Golden is going to take control. Plays this one patient, but a little bit too slow. Does get the bump, however, which allows Gala to come through. But you can see, not a lot of boost on the back line of OwOptic Gaming, and they're going to have to play this one really carefully if they don't want this in the back of their net.
Yeah, Golden and Gala did a really good job of recovering boost, and that's why they're able to get this quick counter. Sam's back for that, and it's not going to be too quick of a counter. But we see, once again, there's a lot of midfield play this game as the ball pops out to the middle of the field in front of Purrsion 1's net, but once again, Drake is there for the save. Drake trying to air dribble at middle, Golden a bit low on boost, but Gala leaves the corner boost for him, which is really good to see. That Gala has the sense to be able to just leave that for his teammate when his teammate really needs that boost. That can keep your team alive in those sort of situations. We see some pressure coming out from OwOptic once again. I've seen lots of these times where OwOptic is just getting a lot of pressure, but maybe not quite converting on it as well as they want to. And they're going to want to be able to maintain just that pressure that little bit longer, so they're able to fully capitalize on it and put one of these in the back of the net before Purrsion 1 puts one home as Devil ends up striking that home, putting his team up by 1.
It's an excellent shot to come out from Devil there. Able to get that shot in for their team, Purrsion 1. And this is where it gets into a little bit of, I wouldn't say panic, especially with Golden now trying to shut me up, getting an immediate goal off of the kickoff. And this kickoff just went so well for Golden. I think they got to the ball just a little bit faster than Devil, gets it past them. Easy turn on it, and we're all tied up. And you can see in this game, not a lot of goals have been scored. So this next one might be the one that finishes off the game. So you're going to have to see who exactly can take this. Now, we've seen Purrsion 1 with the advantage so far on the offensive line. Sam now going over Gala to get that one. Docky trying to use that breakout hitbox to get the best touch he can. Something I noticed from Daki was that one or two of his hits might not have went the same way if he was in a different hitbox. So he must be feeling really confident playing in that breakout today, because it is quite a different feel to his usual preset.
Yeah, we're used to seeing him on Octane hitbox a lot, whether that be in a Fennec or in an Octane, but I mean, if he's feeling a little spicy and deciding to go with the breakout, we'll need to see if that's able to work out for him, as Golden gets a really nice save right there. We see Gala playing it down the field, trying to establish some pressure as he's able to doink it to the middle. Daki's going to play it high, but Devil is just fast to that and is able to play that forward onto the OwOptic half once again. Devil going for the cut, but is unable to get the touch he wants as Golden is going to collect that. They get a shot on net, but Gala has a great recovery to get back to that, and that's going to allow his team to stay in this match. 10 seconds left. We see some more pressure from Purrsion 1. This looks like an open net for Drake, as finally OwOptic succumbed to the ongoing pressure from Purrsion 1.
Daki doesn't have a lot of boost in the tank. They have to try and go up for that ball. They didn't want to risk letting it bounce down and towards the offense. And now OwOptic Gaming going to have to scramble for this one. A couple of bumps. Gala looks for the shot. It's still up in the air, and Gala will get the 0-second goal to tie up the game. Game 2 is still going on here, folks.
I mean, that's the second time in a row that Purrsion 1 scores, and then just immediately OwOptic just puts one right back into Purrsion 1's net. They're so good at responding this game. It seems like they can't be rattled by a goal being scored on them, but we're seeing a dangerous situation. Purrsion 1 unable to take advantage. The ball bounces middle. Gala on that ball. Daki trying to redirect it in, unable to get it in. Sam tries to get possession, is unable to control it the way he wants, and Gala is going to play that middle, going for a demo on gold or on Devil, and Sam is going to need to clear that out. Daki trying to establish some more pressure. Gala following it up. Gala playing it towards the middle very nicely, but they're unable to get a shot on target. They're going to want that one back as Drake is able to clear that to the OwOptic side of the field.
Oh, and that was a close challenge. Gala was able to get in front of it, but now another pass. Gala pre-jumped that. Maybe not the best move coming out, but it still keeps them in offense, which is exactly what they want. Now Daki trying to get this shot. Is going to bounce off the back wall, and no one there to commit. Golden going to challenge. Getting past Devil. Sam will be up, as is Gala. Sam beats Gala by a fraction, and they will be able to move forward. And Purrsion 1, super good at these counterattacks. Golden in the right spot in the net. Now, Daki trying to find a pass over to Gala, who was waiting midfield. Golden keeps this one high. And we're seeing a lot of pressure come out from OwOptic Gaming as Gala puts another shot on net. Angel will be there. Sorry, Devil with the save. Daki trying to get another touch, and it's something like I see from Daki constantly, is he's missing by just a fraction of a hair. And I really think that hitbox might be doing a little bit more harm than good, as we are a minute 40 into OT, seeing another push forward on the net. A save coming out, and Golden doesn't have a lot of boost. High flick from Devil, and Golden keeps it alive. Outside of the net, Drake looks for the double tap. No doing, as Daki is going to clear this one.
Yeah, I'm seeing Daki is just missing it a bit, just like you were saying, but he seems to just be quite a bit low on boost, just a little bit more than I'm used to seeing him be. So I'm wondering if... Ooh, what a save by Golden! What a save! That's insane! But yeah, Daki just a little bit lower on boost than I'm used to seeing him be. So they're kind of scrambling on that defensive end right now. Daki trying to keep this alive. The ball's going to pop middle, but a great bump by Gala. Gala is going to try to get a touch forward on this, unable to get it. Daki, once again, low on boost, just playing that forward. And we're seeing Daki scramble back for his own boost, trying to get a challenge, unable to get the challenge, and they're going to get a deep clear out of their own half. Gala trying to put that on. Devil is able to get the save, though, and seems like both teams are going to be able to score at any moment as this game reaches 3 minutes into overtime.
Now Daki on the ball, trying to keep Drake away. He doesn't have a lot of boost, so he's just going to have to try and put this one mid. Not a great touch coming out from Golden there, but is able to get the clear. Now Docky off the wall. It's going to bounce out. Is anyone there for the shot? Gala challenges, but Drake will be there to get that challenge. But low boost on Purrsion 1. They're going to be scrambling a little. Docky gets a great touch. It's not going into the back of the net, though. And Gala just going to keep that boost control working for them as we continue on with this offensive pressure. It's been going back and forth throughout the entire overtime. It looks like OwOptic's turn to go put a challenge in again. Gala just a little bit too far up on the play, not going to be able to get a good touch out. And now the Purrsion 1 counterattack that we've seen multiple times is going to go through, and Devil puts in the game-winning goal. Purrsion 1 is on match point.
And that's just a fantastic pass down right in front of the OwOptic net, and great speed by Devil to be able to capitalize on it. That is a huge play by Purrsion 1, and I mean, they just seem to be able to show up exactly when they need to in these matches. That was an insane overtime. I think it almost got to 4 minutes. And I mean, well played by both teams right there. Just go back and forth before that match finally came to a close.
And my goodness, that 0-second goal made this so much more stressful than it would have been. But my goodness, well played to Purrsion 1. They kept it out of their net, and what have I said? Their defense is top notch. They were putting away every single shot that was going towards their net. And unfortunately for OwOptic, they were so close to that win right there. Just not able to put that final one in the back of the net. And you gotta wonder what's going through their minds here as they look down the barrel of the gun. That is game 3 and triple match point for Purrsion 1.
I mean, they've been so close in both of these games. Like, they haven't looked bad at all. I think they're just going to be looking to do mostly the same as what they have been doing, but just maybe get that one more shot or that one more pass middle to finally put more of these opportunities on net and in the back of the Purrsion 1 net. Like, they're doing a lot of things right. They just need that one more step to put it in. And I think if there is a team that's going to be able to adapt to that and be able to make that adjustment on the fly, it is going to be OwOptic. We see Gala early on trying to get some early pressure with a pinch, but unable to capitalize on that, as we see a bit of an unorthodox miss from Devil in the midfield, as we see Docky try to control this in zone corner, unable to do so, and we're going to see Drake get a open shot, which is just going to sneak past Gala on the defensive front.
And Drake slotted that perfectly. Gala was so close to that. If it was any closer to the right side of the net, Gala had the save. But Drake, very precise on where they put their shots, and I am going to need to see OwOptic maybe turn this up a little bit. I think they've been a bit too hasty on some of their challenges on the offense. We've been seeing pre-jumps from Docky and Gala both coming out in less than opportune spots. I think that they need to play it a little bit more patient, wait for some of these bounces to come up. I know it's kind of hard to do when you are playing against a team such as Purrsion 1 who are so quick to the ball, but if they take that extra half second and try to control this, that's what we like to see, as Docky does exactly as I asked and ties up the game for OwOptic.
I mean, are they listening into the stream? Because that was quite the timing there, Fade. But yes, beautiful play by Docky, just taking control of that ball rather than rushing it and just sneaking it past that Purrsion 1 defense. We see Docky, he's going to have an opportunity here, but Sam is just up for that super quickly and is able to get a favorable challenge for Purrsion 1. Drake trying to play it forward, Sam unable to get the touch he wants, and that's going to leave Devil back in a 2v1. They try to get the pass middle, but that's not quite the pass that Golden was looking for. Golden decides not to go up for that, is going to opt to try to play this into his own corner, but doesn't quite get the touch he wants. It's not going to bite them. So Gala and Docky kind of double commit on that, and we see Gala tries to get it forward. Golden gets a good 50. That's going to be a little bit dangerous if they get a good 50. They're unable to do so, though. And now we're going to see Daki. Low on boost is going to play this into his own corner, and that's going to leave Devil full boost with a play to be made. Daki, low boost, is going to be able to get the challenge on that, though, to clear it to the opposite side of the field. And I'm seeing, once again, OwOptic is a bit low on boost a bit more often than I'd like to see them, and Purrsion 1, if they're able to identify that, should be able to capitalize on that.
And you can see that Daki has switched back to the Fennec for this game number 3. I think the breakout, just not doing exactly what he wanted in those first couple of games, might be able to make the difference here if his shots are a little bit more accurate, as we have been seeing. Speaking of shots, Devil going for one themselves, going to bounce off the crossbar and out. It was a really close shot, but good patience from the OwOptic defense to keep that one out. And Golden, with an excellent clear, over to Daki, who looks for the redirect, not going to be able to find it. Devil with a really good challenge on that shot. Now Gala trying to put this one towards net as well, not able to put that on exactly. Daki with another redirect, it's in, but Devil, once again, being the backline defense, as Drake does double commit for that. Either way, somebody would have got the same. But still, lots of pressure coming into the Purrsion 1 side, a lot more than we've seen recently, as we got to that Game 2 overtime. It seems like OwOptic has really pushed the offensive game a lot harder than they were previously.
And I mean, that's what we're used to seeing OwOptic do, but if they're going to do it, they don't want to do that, where they just end up tripping over each other and a bit awkward with each other. And I mean, I feel like that was a little bit of a case where both Golden and Gala thought the other one was going to take the ball, and they both just ended up going for basically air right there. And that's the type of communication breakdowns that can happen whenever you have a sub on your team. But now we see Golden going up for a challenge, is unable to get the challenge. Daki is going to need to recover that and try to clear it out of his own half. That's going to be a pass down to Gala, who tries to take a shot on net. Unable to get past the defense, though. Daki going for that. Golden facing away from the play. Daki is going to play that again towards his own half, going for that second touch. We see Gala going for a shot. Drake is there for the save, though, and it seems like anytime OwOptic gets a shot on net, Purrsion 1 is in the perfect position to just play it away, and their defense is showing up in big ways in the second half of this game.
It's not just Drake running this Purrsion 1 backline, although we do see him get a majority of the saves for this team. Devil has been doing their own work as the sub for Purrsion 1 to make that work as well. They've been doing a really good job of that. Now Drake, however, going with a double commit, and it is going to allow an open net. Unfortunately for Purrsion 1, OwOptic Gaming are going to tie this up. And once again, we just said, as a sub goes onto a team, you are going to get those miscommunications. Obviously, Drake and Devil both thought that they could go up for that ball, so they both do. And unfortunately, they both miss. And that's going to allow a bit of a free net, kind of the exact same situation we saw from the OwOptic Gaming side, except nobody went for it instead of both of them on that case. But errors aside, all tied up. And we're seeing Gala try for another shot, gets a good 50, but no one there on the OwOptic side to get that goal. And I think with a minute left, that goal could have been the final nail in the coffin that OwOptic needed to take us to a Game 4.
I mean, it is just 2-2 right now, so we'll need to see if they're able to get one more to go into the net. But we see Devil taking a shot, and Gala is going to redirect it past his teammate into his own net. That's so unfortunate. Oh, that's not the... Don't let this series end like that. It's been so good. And that's just so unfortunate for OwOptic. That, we don't want to see that be the end. Please, OwOptic, put one away. Golden going up for it, trying to put one in a dangerous spot, but that's going to be cleared away. The ball's still alive. Gala trying to keep it alive. Golden trying to keep it up. Drake trying to spike it. Devil trying to also spike it down. He's able to, which is going to give Purrsion 1 the win in a Game 3. That's a sweep to start us off, and just in the most unfortunate of manners, Purrsion 1 is able to secure that sweep.
And that might have been the unluckiest goal that we see in RFDL almost history. Obviously, I could never say something was as unlucky as what happened to Kitten Corp in one of the weeks. Not going to talk exactly about that, but you all know the goal. It shows off. We've shown it in montages before. But Docky, I gotta feel bad for the OwOptic team. They were playing so well at the end there. They were doing everything that they needed to, and at the end of the day, just Purrsion 1 gets those tiny victories, and just to go out to that own goal, Gallatin thought they had the touch, and it was a double commit once again, and it just goes into the back of their own net. That's gotta be a bad way to end your match. You gotta feel for them, but for Purrsion 1, taking it in a sweep now, they've gotta be feeling pretty good going into week number 7 next week. They're gonna be pretty high on the leaderboard after that one.
Yeah, they are going to be pretty high in the leaderboard. There's no doubt about that. But how high? It's going to come down to the rest of the games that we need to play this weekend. And yeah, I mean, that was definitely a good match. Unfortunate ending, but I mean, the effect that it's going to have on these two teams is going to be determined by all the other games that we have yet to play this weekend. So, I mean, I don't have anything else to say about this match. Do you, Fade?
No, basically, thanks for big shout out to Devil for stepping up there. Golden might be regretting waking them up for this match. And we've seen it a few times now where people wake up and just start playing phenomenally. And I think Devil really did that, and they showed up for this team. Maybe in a way that, you know, puts Devil onto a team full time, possibly, if they can find one. I know that they're definitely a great player and have the ability to do that every single week. So we'll see what lies in the future for them. But for that, for this match, I think we are done. But we've got a couple more matches coming up for you to continue on the day. We're going to go to a quick break. And when we come back, it's going to be Team BDS facing off against Gentle Paws as our second match of the day. Stick around, guys. You're not going to want to miss it.
Okay. I love you, I do need you, Paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice, tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you, you break me, but something about it makes us whole, baby. Every piece keeps us together in the cold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. Frozen in my dream, I can't escape the thoughts of you. If I try to leave, when I'm with you I can't move. It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you, you break me, but something about it makes us whole, baby. Every piece keeps us together in the cold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. I break you
Daki, I'm pretty sure.
Nope, that's Yuki.
Hello, guys.
Oh, no, that is me.
And I guess they're talking about the final goal in the intermission intro. But welcome back to RFDL Week 6, Day 1. I'm Ecliptic Fades. I'm joined this time by Firestreak and Daki will be joining us. And Daki, my condolences. The Purrsion one looked really good, and the birthday buff did not come through for Gala.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. We had fun, and I just, if anything, I just want to give Golden a shout out for it wasn't last minute, but it definitely was. You know, like I asked Golden last night, so yeah, I was. Yeah, if anything, shout out to Golden for being there. We had fun.
Yeah, it was a great game. I think that there were a lot of chances. You guys kept it really close. Only 1-goal games for the most part. I can't remember what that game one was, but
Yes.
it was good. But we are going to move on to our next match for today, and it is going to be Team BDS versus Gentle Paws. And this one is going to be very interesting. Gentle Paws coming in with Pictus, not having the best week last week, going up against this BDS squad that has been thriving lately. What do you guys think about this matchup coming up?
I mean, I want to see how Pictus bounces back from that. I think they'll do well though, so I think it'll be interesting. This is an interesting matchup because this is the Fire Reverb battle, which I don't know if they've played much together, but they definitely come from the same community, so there's at least some familiarity with how each other plays.
I mean, what can I say?
What do you think?
I got faith in my teammate Strawberry, absolute menace. She is goated, and then, I mean, we got Pictus. We see what Pictus can do. He can get disgusting at times. So, I mean, I got faith in my teammates. I might just be more of like the backpack on the team, but you know what? I'm okay with that because I got 2 players with me that are goated. So, I mean, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, they definitely, I will say that you guys look like you guys could do really good against this team. But BDS has been doing really well lately. I expect them to bring momentum into the match, and we shall see. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the teams going into this match. First off, it is going to be Team Big Dragon Squad, BDS, coming in here with Reverb, Meezer, and Rue the Fuzzy. Rue has been quite a good guest on the podcast last Wednesday, letting us know the mentality of the team, knowing that they're all having a good time and not worrying too much about goals that have been scored against them as some other teams might do. Their mentality is definitely top notch, and they have been showing up in the league as of late.
I mean, they're definitely a very, very respectable squad. Reverb and Meezer seem to have great chem with each other, and I mean, Rue the Fuzzy being a great support player for those 2 upper tier players on their team. They're definitely not a team to take lightly, and I know Gentle Paws definitely not taking them lightly. So they're a very solid squad. I've been an advocate for Reverb since he joined the league, and I mean, what else is there to say? They're a good team, and I'm looking forward to playing them.
Daki, what's your thought on BDS?
They've looked insane recently. We saw last week at the match of the week how insanely mechanical they can be, and I only see them getting better as they play more around each other. So I'm excited to see if they're able to do that again, and if they are, that's going to be really scary for Gentle Paws to deal with. But we'll see.
Yeah, I have to agree. They are going up against a formidable team. That is to say, in Gentle Paws, they might be near the bottom of the standings right now, but you cannot doubt these guys when they get on the field. Strawberry, Firestreak, and Pictus rounding out the roster there. Them looking pretty decent in the last couple of weeks. Since picking up Pictus, they have gotten a couple more wins. They've gotten a loss too. We're going to have to see how Pictus kind of regains from that one along with the rest of the team. Hopefully they can get a good result today. But I definitely think that this team can take it to BDS, but it is going to be a tough battle for them.
I think that I wasn't sure I was going to talk first, but yeah, I agree with basically everything you just said. I think that, you know, on paper it might not look like they have the advantage, just like you were saying, the rank, but I don't think it'll play out that way. I think it'll be significantly closer than the leaderboard shows. So I think there's a lot of potential for you know, a good 5-game series.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Fire might have a little bit of a bias on this one though, so I'm not going to expect him to say too much regarding his team besides Pictus is goated, Strawberry is goated, Fire is also goated, so we'll just have to see what they can pull off. But one thing I realized that we didn't do in this right before the last match is let everybody know about predictions. So I do want to let everybody know what the entire desk said about the last game and this game. Let's talk about OwOptics first, as I predicted OwOptic in 4, Firestreak predicted OwOptic in 5, Rue the Fuzzy predicted Purrsion 1 in 5, and Arilax predicted OwOptic in 4. So Rue showing up 1 for 1 today. So far, let's see. What about this next match? I have BDS in 4. Daki has BDS in 4. Rue the Fuzzy has BDS in 4. And Arilax also has BDS in 4. So we all are pretty confident that Gentle Paws will take a game. However, the series we think will go over to BDS. Daki, what do you think Gentle Paws needs to do to get past these allegations and take the victory for themselves?
I mean, I feel like the obvious answer is just to limit space. You've got 2 relatively mechanical players that are able to do a lot with the ball if they're given like time and that kind of ability to move around. So if they're able to limit that, I think they can, you know, make things a little bit more awkward. And then they can start, you know, getting some counterattacks and some offense of their own. So I think we'll have to see if they're able to do that. But it's definitely possible. You just, you know, have to make sure you're watching. You don't want reverb with a nice little time to set up, you know, a double or flip reset shot.
Yeah, I have to agree there. You definitely have to take the space away, do the best you can. I know that we're giving Fire some insider info here, but we'll see if he gives that info to his team throughout the series and see what they can do with that. Fire, is there anything else you want to say before you go and join your team on this match?
Let's go, Gentle Paws! Woo! Yeah!
All right. Well, biases aside, guys, we are going to say goodbye to Firestreak, and we are going to go ahead and get ready as the second match is about to begin, guys. It's going to be BDS versus Gentle Paws. One of these two are going to go even higher in the standings. We're going to have to see if BDS can continue on their winning streak or if Gentle Paws can cut them out and give them that one loss that we've been waiting to see for them for a couple of weeks now. But we'll start off immediately going into game 1. And these guys are all ready to go. We'll have to see if Fire being on the desk and not being able to warm up with his team is going to make any difference here. As Meezer off the corner. Pictus is going to be there for the challenge. Reverb gets the touch. It's going to be up, over, and past Strawberry. As Pictus has to go up once again, gets the 50, looks for a pass midfield, but no one on the Gentle Paws roster is going to be able to go for the attack. We're going to be very quiet these first few seconds in the game, but a shot rings out from Pictus, and we remain on the Big Dragon Squad side to start this game.
Yeah, and a lot of passing plays I'm seeing coming from this BDS team. They're definitely in a groove, it feels like. But that being said, Gentle Paws has done a pretty decent job of making sure that not allowing that to go into their own net. So, good as BDS looks, I'm actually pretty impressed with the ability of Gentle Paws to kind of shut down some of those opportunities that BDS is trying to create. They're definitely on the more aggressive side. Looking to see, though, if Gentle Paws can maybe get a breakthrough to start a counterattack of their own. They're on defense a little bit too often, and Unfortunately, that's not going to happen as Meezer put in the first goal of the game. 3:43 left. BDS takes a nice little goal here off of what seemed to be a little bit of consistent pressure. And again, Genopaw's not looking too terrible here to start.
Yeah, but they're going to have to be careful allowing Reverb and Meezer to get that much space, as we talked about on the desk here shortly ago. Now Pictus going to try and find a counterattack. The pass goes to Fire, but he just can't put it down far enough. That's going to be a chance they're going to want back. That angle would have been extremely difficult for anyone to land, though. So good try from Fire there. Now Pictus, once again, he's taking the ball, getting the flip reset over one, but it will be Reverb in that back line. And that is where I do see an advantage for BDS in this game, as even if you get past Meezer, there's more than likely the chance that you're going to have Reverb in the back line to deal with. Meanwhile, when we were talking about Purrsion 1, we were all saying get past Drake. Once you get past Drake, you've got a clear chance. Once you get past Meezer, you've got to deal with Reverb. And the other way around, too. No matter what, you're going to have a difficult situation with these guys on the defensive line. Might need to look at some aggressive plays if you're going to want to try and get past this BDS squad. Now Pictus looking for the shot. Meezer, once again, as I say it, will be on the back line. Firestreak tries to get a pass out to Strawberry. The challenge comes through, and Meezer will have to pick this one off the corner. Puts it a little bit too far. Pictus will get the read. And half the game remaining. BDS up by 1. Might look for 2 as Meezer takes a shot on net. Stopped by Pictus. Pixel going to be up for this one. Also known as Rune the Fuzzy. Gets the pass to Meezer. Now an unfortunate touch coming out from Rune the Fuzzy. From Fire, not far enough upfield to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and again, this is kind of more of the same what we saw in the first half. BDS putting on a lot of pressure. Genopaw's doing a lot, or doing a good job of rather, kind of shutting that down. But when you're down 1, you really don't want to be in that position. You don't want to be playing kind of these safer, more slow, just trying to wait for those counter opportunities. It seems like they're just waiting for an opening, but one has not popped itself up yet. There might be one here, but just, again, no one going for it. I'll have to see if they're able to maybe make a more aggressive push on offense, but unfortunately, again, as I say it, Meezer gets a nice read off of the backboard. That'll put him up 2 with 1:36. Not totally impossible. With how much on the defense Genopaw's has been so far in this game, it'll be very difficult for them to try to get back into this series, or back into this game rather.
I have to agree there. It's definitely looking a little rough for Genopaw's. Being down by 2 against a team like BDS is not something that is too easy to come back from. Might be 3, but Pictus does get a really good save off the goal line. Fire, though, can't make it to the ball on time, and that is going to be another opportunity for Genopaw's that does not go their way. Now, keep having a few opportunities, but they just need to be a little bit faster to that ball. Of course, nobody expecting it to pop out like that on the Genopaw's roster. Now, a third shot, once again, ringing out from Meezer, trying to get that third goal on the field. Not going to be able to happen. And Strawberry going to have to go up for this one. Less than a minute remaining. And Genopaw's needs to find 2. Picked it with the shot, but it's going to be Reverb for the save. And still, no goals for Genopaw's.
Yeah, and it seems like part of the problem that they're getting themselves into here is that as one goes in, I was going to say that it seems like every time they have a shot opportunity, there's not really a continuation of that. They kind of just wait for a shooting opportunity, shoot it, and then rotate out. That's kind of been hurting them a little bit. But they do get a nice one there for a little bit of a counter, a little bit of an opening that Pictus was able to slot into. It's not totally undoable. 35 seconds, 1 goal in that time is not impossible. It's definitely not over yet, but they definitely have their work cut out for them.
Now 30 seconds left. Genopaw's looking for 1. Fire going to have this off to the side. In the corner, Reverb is going to take control. Gets a long clear. Pictus is going to be back and takes this touch. Now Meezer going to have this ball. Strawberry with the challenge. Not able to get a second touch. Pictus is going to have to clear this out, but the defense of BDS is staying strong, and they might take this first game as it hits the ground. BDS will take game number 1.
Yeah, a little bit of rotational errors there, I think, at the end. There was maybe an opportunity, but just a little bit too far back, centered, make a play on that ball. And I'll come back to hurt them. They do go down 1 in the series, but not a bad look from Paws. They did very good on defense. There's a lot of shots coming their way, and they only gave up 2. So if you're Paws here, that's what you're thinking about. You're thinking about, okay, we might have lost by 1. We survived an onslaught of shots. So it's definitely not the end of the world here for them. They're able to keep that in their minds. I think they definitely have a good chance of going back into the series.
They'll have to adapt a little bit for game 2. We saw that they had a lot of opportunities in this game number 1, but just weren't able to put much on net. Of course, they did finally get one in, which is exactly what they did need. That replay a little bit scuffed. It just shows the ball going in, but at least they got one. They can work off of that for game number 2. We'll have to see if they're able to do so. But BDS looking as strong as we normally see them. We're going to have to see what else they come up with, because they're just going to ramp up as the series keeps going on. And that is kind of scary for Paws. They definitely wanted that game 1 win. Seeing that they were unable to get it, they're going to need this game 2. But they're going to be looking at a reverse sweep. And against BDS, I don't see quite likely for that to happen.
Yeah, definitely not. You definitely want momentum. And losing game 2 is going to put you in a little bit of a tough spot. It's not impossible. We have seen some reverse sweeps and some attempted reverse sweeps already a lot, very often so far. So it's possible. Obviously, you don't want to be putting yourself in that position. Paws will be hoping to look for maybe some more aggression, maybe some more offensive opportunities, maybe some bumps, some more physical play coming out. And trying to make this VDS team a little bit more awkward. They've seemed so comfortable and dealing with the shots that not only Paws are putting on, but being able to rotate and get a lot of shots of their own out. So we'll have to see if a little bit of a adaptation will help here, as we've already started to see so much pressure come out of Paws. So maybe they're listening, as this is what you want to see. You want to see continuous pressure. That will lead to goals, and that's exactly what happens as Pictus puts this one in off of what is a very good continued pressure. I mean, just putting shots on, making people waste their boost, and by the end of it, no one's got boost to make a play on that ball, and that is well executed from Paws.
As you said, that is exactly what Paws fans are going to like to see here. As we continue on, not a lot of time off the clock yet, so plenty of time for BDS to come back. You're going to have to be very wary of that. Try to get another goal as fast as possible. Get that 2-goal lead popping for your team. Put that pressure on BDS, make them more and more anxious as the game goes on. Might cause them to make a few more mistakes, as another shot will ring out, but Rue the Fuzzy will be in the perfect spot to get that save. Unfortunately for Strawberry, that shot just not going to be able to go through, and another unfortunate mishap as a pinch from Reverb from the other team just goes flying. Well, it's not actually a pinch, but a pinch leads to the pass. And Reverb knows exactly where to place that on net. BDS now tie up the game.
Yeah, unfortunate. I think Pictus was waiting for a 50 that he could play on, and obviously did not go the way that he was expecting it to, and it didn't go the way Strawberry expected to either, because I think she might have turned off there, hoping that someone would jump in and take a shot at the net, but obviously that did not happen, and it's like everyone in Paws was caught off guard by that. So not the end of the world. The match is tied and not down, which is nice for them. That's the benefit of getting that early lead. And so even if you do let one through, you might get one right when that goes. I almost saw what looked like maybe a psycho attempt leads to a goal. This is a little bit awkward. It completely made me lose my train of thought here, trying to watch exactly what was happening here. We were trying to go for maybe the psycho, just does not go that way, and obviously Pictus will score that every single time the ball bounces down awkwardly like that.
And you can see Strawberry going up for that challenge too, which put Reverb in a very, very rough spot. He wanted to try and psycho that, I think, but where Strawberry was, it was going to make that angle extremely difficult. But it looks like a third goal might go in. No, Reverb with the pre-jump on the shot, and that is going to stay out. And Paws kind of giving away that one. The demo on the back line, and Pictus will be back for this. Gonna have to look for a shot here. Reverb was not in the place to get the save, but unfortunately no angle can come through for Pictus. Now Fire getting a 50, but beat by Rue the Fuzzy. Pictus once again getting up here, and we are saying Pictus's name quite a lot for this Gentle Paws squad right now. It seems like he's always on the ball. Might be, I'm not sure how that's doing on the rotations, if that's exactly what Gentle Paws wants, but I do see that Pictus is putting himself a lot into all these plays as he tries for another shot. Not going to be able to find it. Meezer with the demo and the aggressive plays, ringing out for BDS as a shot. Opportunity goes through. Pictus once again saving his team with a pinch off of the sidewall onto the ground. Oh no!
Oh no. A gentle Poongle, if you may. As unfortunate read, does not have the boost to get back to the backboard, tries to read the bounce, and it's so unfortunate. You hate to see it. I've been in those situations. It's never fun. Best thing you can do is just laugh it off and keep moving. They're still tied, so it's like the last time they got scored on this game. It's not the end of the world. They've been doing a good job of getting the lead rather than tying it, so they're not playing from behind. So they should be taking that into their mental. You know, they gave up the one. It was an unfortunate bounce, but if you think about it, technically they scored it, so they didn't even get outplayed by BDS. So mental should be good, I think. And that's a good opportunity from Reaver, but not on the mark. I will say, even with the own goal, Gentle Paws is looking a lot more solid in this second game.
I'm sorry, I'm still caught up on Gentle Poongle. So you're gonna have to excuse me for a second. Guess that's a trend now, but Pictus is gonna try and have this one. A good touch from Meezer off the side. Gonna continue going on, and Reverb will follow that up. Not a lot of boost though, so Pictus once again gonna cut and grab this ball. Gets a really good 50, but Fire pushed too far up on the play. Strawberry is gonna have to come in after them and try to get the 50. Not gonna beat one. Pictus beats Reverb. Goes for the demo, and Meezer is able to dodge, leaving the ball to him to clear. Fire, once again, a little bit too far up in the midfield, and that's going to be a clear. 30 seconds remaining, still tied up. Meezer looking for the shot. Fire had the block, but Meezer misses, and that sends Fire over the goal. Now Pictus over to the side. We might be seeing an OT as 14 seconds on the clock. Meezer trying to find a lot of opportunities.
Oh.
Strawberry, insane save, keeping them alive here. Reverb had that shot. Fire just in front of the ball, tries to put it off to their teammate, but no one's there, and we will be going to OT.
And again, Gentle Paws looking pretty solid. Actually had quite a bit of opportunities, I think, to take that. Just not quite able to connect on it. BDS has also had a lot of opportunities themselves, but and if you would think in game one, I feel like you would have expected to see a lot more pressure coming from BDS there, especially in the latter half of that game two. Of course, as I say that, I curse it. It's a great read from Meezer. Comes off of maybe a fake from Reverb. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but it definitely got Pictus out of the play. Great top right slot from Meezer, and now Gentle Paws is looking at a reverse sweep if they want to be able to pull out the series.
And as I said, that's not going to be the best spot to find yourselves if you are on Gentle Paws here. It's going to be a tough one to come back from, as BDS are looking very strong during this game. Now, a couple of errors that could have been avoided for Gentle Paws. Obviously, we have to talk about that Pictus own goal, or as you like to keep putting it, the Gentle own goal. I'm never letting you live that down. But I still think that Gentle Paws looked pretty good here. I am noticing, and I kind of want to ask you what your thought is on this, but I am seeing a little bit of, it's reminiscent of maybe in Season 0 Floof Crew, where they were so reliant on pads to get a lot of very favorable touches for the team, and the other two members kind of just making sure that they put pads in a very good spot, but not really focusing on getting the shots or the assists themselves, just trying to get it to pads that whole time. I'm seeing the same thing with Gentle Paws with Pictus. Do you see the same thing I'm seeing, or am I just crazy?
Crazy. No, I definitely think that that's natural. I think with there being a higher ranked player, obviously they're going to be quicker to the ball. They're probably going to want to be on the ball because they'll probably be able to do more with it. So it's kind of natural that you'll see that, but I do think more so that we're not seeing as much maybe distributing. So I think that's what's maybe making it feel like that over-reliance maybe, and that there's a lot of solo plays, a lot of defensive cuts that are happening from Pictus. And that's not necessarily a bad thing if you're able to adapt to that well, because you want to be there to clean up the messes and be able to put those shots on net. Fortunately, they're just not there for it as that one goes off the crossbar and out. But again, if you're going to have that kind of having your higher ranked player be the pusher, the presser in your team, you'll have to be there to clean up kind of the mess that they make in rotation. And unfortunately, we're just not seeing that from Paws. There's just some awkward rotations here. Maybe the missed goal in their head. Fire going back for boost. Pictus has none, and it's not there in time to get to that one. Quite a lot of time left, but I want to be starting off this game 3 when you're down 2. Now you're down in the game. Got to be hurting the mental, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure. And we're just going to have to see how they come back from this one. They really need this game win. Not just for game differential purposes, but they definitely want to take this into a game 5, if at all possible. Definitely win this series. But they're going to have to reverse sweep from here, and now being a goal down, that's going to be tough. Fire tries for the flick, but it is going to be cut immediately by Reverb. The ball coming out. Pictus had to dodge, and the ball railed under, but luckily Strawberry was there for the save. Now Meether up to Reverb. We've seen it time and time again. Big Dragon Squad up by 2. What an excellent play from them.
Yeah, and that's such a good play, but it's not what you want to see from Paws. Unfortunately, all 3 of them in net with basically no boost. That's so difficult to deal with. And then, of course, when you're dealing with shots like that, I mean, Reverb's reading that so incredibly well. Such a difficult position to be in. And an even more difficult position to be in is being down 2 on match point, as Meezer goes for what might be the nail in the coffin, but luckily for Paws, that one is off. 3 minutes, though, is quite a bit of time, even in 3s. It's definitely not over. We're going to need to see them. I want to see them play a little bit more like they played in Game 2. Aggressive, not quite waiting as much for these counterattacks and finding themselves out of position, but of course, as I say that, leads to another goal. It's a really good pass. It's a great pop, actually, from Meezer to bait Strawberry into feeling like they had to rush to that ball, and Reverb's just so quick to that one. So they go up 3 with 3 minutes left. I said that 2 goals in 3 minutes wasn't impossible. 3 goals in 3 minutes is a little bit harder, but still not as impossible. There's a possibility here, but we'll need to see a change as soon as possible from this Paws team.
And Strawberry, not sure if they should have went there. Tried to turn back on it. Does get the 50 out to Pictus. But it's just going to be cleared over to the side again, and we just keep seeing this from Paws. We're not really getting any good opportunities on net. We find one there. Fire goes up for it, but it's just going to be the speed of Reverb being too much to handle for these Paws members. And BDS, they're looking like they're taking over this series, slowly but surely. The touches for Paws not really coming in the right way. Reverb is going to be up in the air, looking for a double tap. It's going to be off the corner. But it was so close to going in, and another big 50 means Paws has to waste boost, getting it off of their back wall. And that just allows BDS and Reverb in particular to come up for another one. Gets the air bump on Pictus, and that's going to be a 4th goal for BDS.
God, that's such a good play. You could see Reverb immediately zeroed in on Pictus as the only one up, and just goes right for the bump. That's such a good play. And BDS looking to be as strong as ever. They definitely want to take this in 3. They're playing like they have the ability to. Every time I say it, 3 goals in 3 minutes, a little difficult. 4 goals in 2 minutes, though, feels almost impossible. It's not quite impossible. Plaza has a lot of ground to cover. They want to have a chance at winning this game and staying in this series.
Now Fire, he's going to be really awkward, kind of just using his boost there. Not landing on the ground just yet. Pictus is going to have to come up and clear this one. And Meezer is going to have this straight over towards the Paws net again. It just seems like every time Paws gets a decent touch on the ball, you find either Reverb or Meezer just waiting to pounce on it. As another shot gets blocked by Meezer, and Fire has to put this over to the corner, but it almost goes straight into Rue the Fuzzy's car. Meezer is going to be up looking for the double as they're starting to just try and clip on these guys. 1:05 left. Pictus looking for the bump. Dodged by Reverb, and that's going to be another goal to the not going to Gentle Paws. My bad there.
I mean, yeah, it's almost at this point that Gentle Paws is playing for goal diff. And as I said prior, 4 goals in 2 minutes, a little bit harder. 4 goals in 40 seconds is downright impossible. And BDS, though, looks incredibly difficult. I don't know if I've seen this much, you know, mechanical clip-worthy attempts at goals and goals happening so consistently. Not unbeatable, but when they start to get that momentum, it's so difficult. These Pictus will get one. 25 seconds left. They're still down 3. At least for goal differential, this is a nice shot. Big miss from Rue the Fuzzy. Great read on the miss from Pictus. Brings them to within 3. 25 seconds left. I guess it's not impossible, but it definitely feels like it's difficult. Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh. Well, you were saying that the goals are going to continue to ring out. Another goal from Meezer off the kickoff there. And, you know, what can you do if you are Gentle Paws there? You're trying to get good amount of pressure off the kickoff. Just a bit of an overcommit, and that's going to be another goal. But Gentle Paws is going to just want to get one back for pride's sake. Will they be able to do so? Only time will tell. But as the goals count down, or the timer counts down, it looks like that's going to be it. BDS is going to take this in a sweep. And, what can you say? BDS is looking so strong right now.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, Gentle Paws looked good in game 2. I think they played very well in that game. Unfortunately, I think in game 3, they just kind of reverted back to how they were playing in game 1. A little bit more passive, trying to play on mistakes that BDS was making. But, you know, when BDS isn't making those mistakes, it's so difficult to try to work around that. I think they got themselves caught up and tripped each other up a little bit too much for playing that way. I don't know if they meant to do that, but it might almost be like an inherent play style. So, I mean, like I said, if they can focus on that game 2 for Gentle Paws, I think they have a lot of good things to look at.
Yeah, I do too. As for BDS, they're just looking so strong right now. And
Yeah,
we're gonna need to find a team to beat them. They're starting to look like X3 Tactics have been looking recently, and I can't wait to see those two squads play against each other. It's such a shame that they played each other in week 1, because if we had that match coming up soon, I would be so hyped for that. But I mean, congratulations, I gotta say, to BDS. They're looking really good. They're definitely going to be a team to beat going on in the league. And yeah, good job to them. And once again, I love NA production because it hits me every time. But with NA production aside, you knew I had to get it in there at least one time today per match. That is what we do here on RFDL. But that is going to be it for this match, guys. We have one more coming up for you guys, and it's going to be a good one. After this break, we're coming back with Twisted Tails versus LumiMawcity. Don't miss out. Catch you after the break.
my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you, you break me, but something about it makes us so, baby. Every piece keeps us together in the core. I break you, you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. I break you, you break me, holding our love in chains of frozen in my dream. I can't escape the thoughts of you if I try to leave. When I'm with you, I can't move. It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you, you break me, but something about it makes us whole, baby. Every piece keeps us together in the core.
It's the tune.
Oh, I forgot to put fire back on the desk. There we go. We're
Oh.
here.
Oh no.
Welcome in, everybody. It's RFDL, week 6, day 1. I'm Ecliptic Fates with Fire and Docky. And Fire, I mean, we had to talk to Docky last time after his unfortunate loss of the day. Let's talk to you a little bit. Sweep from BDS. Can't say that we're too surprised that BDS won because they're looking so strong. And you guys had your chances, but we were all hoping you'd take a game.
I mean, honestly, I'm not too disappointed in our team. Like, we didn't play badly in my eyes. We just had a couple of key mistakes that led to goals, especially on my part. So, my bad, guys. I threw again. Fire streak throwing again? Never. No, I do it all the time. So, ultimately, yeah, it's unfortunate loss for us. BDS played really well at the end of the day, and yeah, we might have gotten a little bit desperate in game 3. So, yeah, I think we could stand to get me and Strawberry involved a bit more, but other than that, I mean, we played decently, and I can't be disappointed with our team after that series.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think you guys looked good. I just think you need to, you know, iron some stuff out. I think that game 2 looked very promising for you, but I definitely think that there's a good chance that you guys can continue to take these. So, with that being said, we're going to move on to our last match of the day. This match is going to be Twisted Tails versus LumiMawcity, and I'm very excited for this one.
I mean, yeah, Twisted Tails getting their first win last week, and then LumiMawcity, I believe they had a tough loss last week, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, reverse sweep.
So both of these teams are going to be hungry. Twisted Tails getting their first taste of victory for the season, and then LumiMawcity just coming off of such a tough loss last week. They're both going to want this one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that both teams probably feel like a win would, help them feel like better. I, in terms of Twisted Tales, I'm not entirely sure where their mental's at. They seem to be more of the, we're just here to have fun, which I can respect. And so I'm sure they'll play like their game. I don't think the stakes are of their win or loss record will have much of an effect on them. I mean, maybe I'm speaking too broadly. I'm sure it'll affect maybe Liska or Baxis, but or maybe one or the other. But I think as a whole, they'll probably play as well as they have been playing. They played very well last week. They've been playing good all season, just have gotten kind of unfortunate. So I think they'll play pretty well, and it'll be an entertaining series.
And I will let you guys know that with this matchup, we get something that doesn't actually happen a lot of the time based off of the player population. But we're going to be doing a coin flip before the match starts to see who gets the first server pick, because we will be doing alternating NA and EU servers this match.
Legendary coin flip. I mean, who's the one that's going to get to call it, Fade? Because if it's Twisted Tails and they don't choose Tails, I'm going to be very sad.
Well, see, here's the thing about that is that Twisted Tails, by definition, is always Tails. So, we are going to be putting them as Tails in these flips. And I don't think anybody else will have objections to that. It just makes everything easier. Is just setting up team 1 is Tails and team 2 is Heads, as we usually have been doing. So
it makes sense that LumiMawcity would be head side as well. So, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense. So give me a second, guys, to set up that coin flip. But we will get to that shortly. And guys, I just want to ask you guys, because we don't get this opportunity a lot, the implication of getting your server first. How big is that going to make a difference in this matchup?
Honestly, in this matchup, I don't think it'll make that much of a difference, simply because the only case where it might make a difference is if it's like a 3-game series, where the winning team is able to get their server choice for both the first and third game, but I don't really see this just being a 3-game series, so I don't think it's really going to make much of a difference.
Yeah, it's so hard to know. I mean, I'm sure Liska will probably feel more comfortable on EU, just naturally, because I'm sure that Liska probably has less experience playing on like US East than Joshi does. But I guess so what if I guess we'll probably get into that, huh? In terms of like who is what region on each team.
Yeah, I mean, everybody on LumiMawcity is NA East, along with Baxis, and then of course Liska and Sharky are going to be those EU players. So we are going to see exactly how that works. But we are going to get into the coin flip here real quick. So if we switch over here, you can see we have our coin flip ready. As we said before, LumiMawcity is Heads, Twisted Tails is Tails. Let's see what this flip has for us. It is going to be Tails, and Twisted Tails will get the prediction to start us off. So we are more than likely going into EU to do this, to start us off, and that is going to be very nice for Twisted Tails. Is it going to make enough of a difference, though, against LumiMawcity, who has Avid back on the stream?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, I think naturally that gives my advantage, right? So, we'll just have to see if they're able to capitalize on that. It's not a huge advantage, since luckily it is all USE, so USE's going to EU is not as bad as, say, a West player going there. But obviously, there's a slight ping advantage, though. But they'll have to make sure that they actually, you don't want to lose those EU matches if you're Twisted Tails.
I mean, Liska back on her home servers, that's a little bit scary. I would not want to be LumiMawcity right now. That's quite frankly a terrifying proposition, and I mean, we'll need to see how they handle it, but I mean, I really want to see Liska completely pop off on her own servers, and I mean, I'm excited at the possibility of that happening.
All right, well, let's talk about the teams real quick and then get straight to predictions. Let's first talk about Twisted Tails, who is going to be on the orange side of this matchup here. It's going to be Liska, Vaxis, and Sharky, and they finally got their first win in the league. But you can see Sharky is really high up there in the accolades, so he's been putting on quite a performance for his team. Will they be able to get the second win this week, guys?
I mean, they definitely have the opportunity to. In the beginning of the season, I was saying they have the potential to beat any team, but might not have that consistency. And I mean, we saw that last week. They beat us. They beat us pretty convincingly, especially in 2 of those games. They're a very strong squad. I think Liska, always a really good player. Baxis, I mean, really solid diamond rank player for them. And I mean, we all know what Joshy can do. So we'll need to see if they're able to put it together this week.
Yeah, I mean, basically exactly what I was going to say. They can beat anybody. They have shown that they can take, top tier teams to game 5s. So, yeah, I think that they'll have, obviously it'll be a tough fought match, but they definitely have a decent chance.
Yeah, have to agree there. I think they're looking pretty good, but the team that they are going up against has also been looking really good. We're talking about LumiMawcity, and this week, Avid not being subbed out for Nacho, so it is going to be him returning to the field along with Arilax and Levi. Levi was having a bit of a scare on his PC, so we're hoping that it holds up for the entirety of the series, but they do have a sub waiting just in case. And with Arilax, look how many accolades he has, showing up in the top 5 in all but one stat. You can see that Arilax really is the center of this team right now, and we're gonna have to see if he has what it takes to help his team get the win here.
So, Fade, you are completely correct on that, but I also want to point a little bit of attention before we switch away from the screen. Look at Avid. Avid is on par or better than Arilax, statistically speaking, and I think it's 3 of those categories. He just hasn't played in enough series to be marked as a top 5, top 3, or whatever competitor. So, I mean, Arilax top 5 and 5 things, and Avid not far behind on that. It's a terrifying. They're the scariest duo, in my opinion, to play against at this point in the league. And I mean, I'm sure they are going to do their best to do that once again this week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they've played very well consistently. Arilax is obviously a great player, and Levi's been playing well as well. So, yeah, they've been good. I think they'll continue to be good. Not really much more to say about them.
Yeah, that's fair. Fire. Before we get into this match, because I'm sure everybody wants to see this, what's the predictions looking like for this final match of the day?
Yeah, the predictions were definitely a bit split, if I remember correctly, because Fades, you chose LumiMawcity in 5, Daki chose Twisted Tails in 4, I chose LumiMawcity in 5 with a 4-minute Game 5 overtime, going out on a limb for that prediction. Rue the Fuzzy chose LumiMawcity in 5, and Arilax was unable to predict on this one because he is playing in the game. So, not a sweep on the desk, 3-1 in favor of LumiMawcity, but everyone choosing LumiMawcity chose it to be in 5. So, it's definitely going to be a close matchup on paper, and we'll need to see who's able to show up better on this day.
And with that being said, guys, I think that these Twisted Tail players are especially ready to get into this match, so let's get on started with it. Last match of the day going to be Twisted Tails versus LumiMawcity. We have LumiMawcity for the most part on the desk, but we have it going to Game 5. Will this team be able to take us to a Game 5, and will Twisted Tails be able to cause an upset for the desk? We'll find out right now as everybody is joining into the lobby, and we will be getting this game number 1 underway. right now, me and Docky, once again, going to be bringing you this one. And excuse me, what is Sharky Boy's car? That's the first thing I got to talk about.
I don't even have had a chance to look at that yet.
It's a Venom.
Is that a Venom?
It is a Venom. I can tell
that
you
is a
without a
Venom.
doubt. I
Yeah.
recognize that car body anywhere. Joshy has been dealing with that meta lately, but Eric Wax doesn't care what kind of car Joshy has. He cares that Levi got a great touch over to him, and that's going to be in the back of Twisted Tail's net. LumiMawcity up by 1.
Oh my goodness, what an angle. Yeah, I was so caught up in the card choice, I didn't even notice that that shot came from where it came from. That's a really good play, obviously, from Alex. But Baxis, okay. I didn't even, again, I was so busy talking about the last thing that I didn't have a chance to focus too much on what's happening. A little bit of a miss there, but Baxis reads that so well. And the placement all the way to the left. Alex, not much you can do about it there. And yeah, back to what you were saying. I think like maybe the card change buff is real. I can attest that it doesn't always work in your favor when you try using a different car. But it makes the game more interesting, it makes it more fun. So I'm happy to see it. Venom, obviously, a fun card choice. We'll have to see if they're able to come back, because we're already starting to see this is probably going to be a really close series. A lot of shots have come out from both teams so far.
And let's go looking to put one on net. It's going to go in as no one is back for LumiMawcity. The bump coming out from Sharky being crucial on Levi to be allowing for that. And Liska already looking good, putting their first goal in early in this series. And for Twisted Tails fans, that's definitely what you want to see. Liska has been doing such a good job putting those goals in when it matters, but they've been overshadowed a little bit throughout the league by Sharky. And Sharky finally giving Liska a little bit of opportunity to shine there. That is looking good for the team. And as I said, the momentum in Twisted Tails' favor as Sharky gets an incredible save on that shot that came out. And that could have been a tied game, but Sharky says no.
Yeah, actually, it's a crazy shot and an even crazier save. And Twisted Tails not only has they've been playing so well as a team, as we've like you said, Liska getting that early goal, Baxis as well getting a really nice play shot on net, quality goals. So we're definitely seeing Twisted Tails playing like they played last week and how they played all season. Very, very good shot opportunities, making them awkward as a double commit and a double miss. I think both teams thought Sharky had more boost. Probably going to try to go for a shot up with Levi and Ovid up for that one. Of course, neither of them getting a touch on the ball. Leaves a perfectly open net for Liska. With 3:25 left, Twisted Tails finds himself up 2.
Now Liska gonna have this in the corner, gets a good 50 on Avid. And you gotta remember, this is on EU servers, so definitely ping advantage going over to Liska and to Sharky. And that is going to make a bit of a difference. You can see Baxis trying to play that demoler role, and it is working out. Now a huge shot coming out from Liska, as they are really putting some powerful ones on the net this time, but Avid is there to put it away. Now, who's going to be able to read this first? Sharky so close up in the air, not getting the touch, but no one from LumiMawcity expecting that to come out. And now Baxis is going to take control, tries to pop it over Levi. Avid jumps prematurely, trying to make sure that even if there was a miss, they'd still be in front of the net. And it does work out. No goal scored for Twisted Tails. However, this one's bouncing into the net.
No.
Avid tries to get there, and Liska gets the credit, but it's going to be a LumiMawcity own goal here.
What is going on today? Every single series has at least had one of these. And yeah, wow. That is definitely unfortunate. Of course, I was going to mention Axis is getting quite a bit of respect early on here. Maybe seeing that SSL in the early card that he had is people a little bit more scared to challenge him early. He's done a very good job of making the LumiMawcity defense super awkward. I think we're starting to see that ping advantage kind of show itself here as players are a little bit slower to jump up for those balls, and Liska and Josh here just having almost a free reign for aerial beats, really working in their favor. So I'm sure that LumiMawcity will be very happy to see Game 2 go back to NA East.
Yeah, and along with that, you got to think about Game 5 potentially. Obviously, you could see Avid in the chat there earlier talking about they need a new server, which of course it will be. We're moving to NA East for game number 2. But if they keep having this sort of issue on EU servers and they cannot get the goal differential back far enough by game number 5, then you know that Twisted Tails is going to pick EU, and that would not bode well for LumiMawcity. Now, Airlax over to Levi. Levi trying for the shot. Now, Avid going to try for a double tap of their own, but Liska is going to be able to save that one off to the side. A minute 30 left, and LumiMawcity probably just playing for goal differential at this point. They want to at least get 1 or 2 goals on the Twisted Tail net to try and bring it more to an even playing field. Avid had a chance. Levi with the double commit. Airlax might have had a shot there. And unfortunately for LumiMawcity, not going to be able to find one. And Twisted Tails leading the goal differential by 4 at the 1 minute mark of this game number 1. And that is not what you're going to want to see for LumiMawcity to end this game 1.
Yeah, and it's the confidence from Twisted Tails as he backs us pre-jumping to challenge Ovid. And that just shows how comfortable I think this Twisted Tail team feels right now. They definitely feel like they have control over the pace. They're so confident going for some of these 50s as they're winning most of them, winning most of these challenges. And Airlax, again, someone that played with Liska and Rex last season, probably a little bit more used to those EU servers, as of course as we see a really good pinch come through. And Ovid already upfield to make that one, and that's going to go well in the goal differential department. So I don't think they can win this one, but if they can bring it a little bit closer, they might have an easier time trying to get that game 5 server choice. But again, Twisted Tails looking so incredibly solid, super controlled early on in the series.
You're not going to want to let them score one more. Liska going to have the double, but Levi is the one that puts it in. Liska is going to be flying above this ball here. Just a little bit of a misread. I see the intention, but Levi, I think, jumping up in an unfortunate position. And that is going to put Twisted Tails up by 4 again. And LumiMawcity not going to like the start to this match. And that might be another goal going in. Not going to happen, but it looks like this game is going to be over. Airlax going to put this over to the side. And LumiMawcity going to be down a game. Twisted Tails will win game number 1.
Yeah, pretty handedly as well. I'm not sure how much of that came down to just how solid Twisted Tails was playing or the server issues. Obviously, a little bit of struggle there on those EU servers, as it can be. I mean, for me specifically as a West player, playing on EU is terrible. But even as for East players playing on EU can be a little bit of a change-up. You know, the ball tends to jump around sometimes. It's really hard to read touches because sometimes the ball will get hit and then, you know, a second later it goes flying forward. So that can definitely make things difficult for you. But we'll have to see. We're going back to NA East, so we'll have to see if LumiMawcity can bring this to equal on the series scoreline.
Yeah, and I think they're definitely going to have a chance here. I think that it's going to be a bit tough with the momentum that Twisted Tails has gotten, and that is where that first server choice really does come into advantage there. However, we have seen that Twisted Tails has done a little bit poorly on NA East before, so we'll have to see if that continues. Last week, though, they showed that the server regions don't really affect them too much, but definitely getting the momentum to start the match is going to be so good for them. And obviously, it seems like Avid was having a very tough time in that server. I think that they were having worse ping than everybody else, as you could tell by some of those touches he was getting.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just kind of one of the things you have to deal with, unfortunately, when you're playing, you know, on a server that's across the pond. Sometimes you're going to have those difficult pings. I know last season I dealt with that constantly, and it's unfortunate, but you know, you do get you do get a chance to play on a server that's closer to you, and you're going to want to make sure you capitalize on that. So again, like you were saying, we have seen Joshi and Liska play well on US East, and that has to kind of help them, I think, mentally. They know that they probably have the EU games not locked, but they have a very good advantage. But then they also don't really have much of a disadvantage on East. They've played all of last season. They played a ton of games on East, and they played them well. And we saw earlier weeks, they've also played really well in East. So we'll have to see if LumiMawcity can take advantage. But I don't think Twisted Tail is going to be at that much of a disadvantage.
I have to also agree with that. But as game 2 rings out on Urban Central, we're going to see what LumiMawcity can do being back on the home turf. Arrow trying to play this one slow, getting it past Liska. And I think Liska showing up so much better this series than they have for a few of the series that they've played so far. It looks like getting that momentum from that first win of the season really has helped them stand out a little bit. Also, Sharky giving just a little bit more space to their teammates, allowing them to play that aggressive game, has really been working in Twisted Tail's favor. We'll have to see if they can keep that up for this game 2. Sharky gonna get beaten by Levi here. A bit of an awkward touch for them though, off the bump. And Aerolax trying to take this one. Also note, Aerolax, as you guys might have heard on the pre-show earlier, coming into this quite a bit sick and losing their voice. I left the party. That's going to be connection issues for sure. But yeah, Aerolax coming in a little bit sick. I'm hoping that's not affecting their performance too much, but it might be, because he does seem a little bit hesitant on the ball as of late. Now Sharky with the shot, gonna be bounced off the crossbar, and Avid over to the side. First minute and a half going through on this game, and no goals to be scored just yet.
Where's the crossbar ping when you need it? That was a great shot, just a little bit too high. And as going back to what you're saying, yeah, definitely maybe the sickness coming to in a factor for Aerolax. But I can confirm insider knowledge. I was playing Aerolax in ones earlier, and he's definitely playing good. So not that I'm saying it's not affecting him, but Aerolax is still definitely a terror on the field. So they're definitely not a huge disadvantage with him being sick. Might not be playing up to 100%, but he's definitely still playing at about 90. And I mean, Vise or Avid is just playing at 100%. I mean, this is such a great challenge, and then reads the bounce back. That's such an awkward position, and very well played. And they're doing exactly what they need to do. They're taking advantage of the being on US East. They definitely want to win this game, and they're doing a good job of it so far.
Was that just me, or did I see somebody without a nameplate there? That is some Rocket League production right there, as Cookie Cat just said in chat. That was weird for a second, but Sharky is going to have this off the wall. They're going to have to find an equalizer here. Might find it pretty quickly, but Avid is going to be in the right spot. Now, Liska looking for the shot opportunity. Might be a bit of an overcommit as Levi does have the drop down for Avid. He tries to play it low, and Sharky gets an incredible pinch. It's going to be outside, but a shot opportunity for Twisted Tails. And my goodness, that was quite a bounce. That's going to drop straight down, though. Liska gets a good touch, and Sharky will be able to clear it.
I don't even know what happened. I look like maybe it pinched it into the ground, and then it just goes fly. If that would have gone in, that would have been, I think, one of the goals of the day by far. That was just an absolute swing. It looked like it might be in Twisted Tail's net, and then all of a sudden that's flying towards LumiMawcity's net at about 200 kph. So I don't even have words for that.
Oh,
Twisted
shot!
Tail's looking strong as a slightly off to the left. That was an open net, and Joshi probably wants that shot back, but they're doing such a good job. I'm seeing a lot of great possession and passing plays from Baxis. Baxis is playing very well, probably the best I've seen in a while. I'm just getting really good quality touches on the ball and setting his teammates up for success. So this is what you want to see if you're Twisted Tails. Even though they're not in EU, they don't have the ping advantage, they're still definitely playing incredibly solid.
And something you got to think about is that next game we will be going back to EU. Now, obviously, we are going to probably try and test the lobby, make sure that Avid gets good ping in this next one, as he seemed to have the most issues. And we want to make sure that they're still competitively viable lobbies for these players. So we're probably going to test one as we go back to the desk and make sure that it's all good. So game 1 might not be as possible for Twisted Tails.
Oh.
But if they do take that win, that guarantees a game 5 if LumiMawcity can win game number 4 and make sure that they get there, which would put Twisted Tails in a very, very nice situation going through. As LumiMawcity only having 1 goal, it's not going to really clear the goal differential that Twisted Tails has. And unfortunately for LumiMawcity, chance there for Aerolax, not going to find it. Avid tried to pass it. The Aerolax both jumped for it. Now 10 seconds left. They're going to try and find another shot, but a miss coming out. Another shot opportunity. Aerolax gets bumped from Sharky, and they might take the game unless Twisted Tails can move this forward.
Yeah, and there's been so many goal opportunities for Twisted Tails. They have to be kicking themselves at least a little bit. I know I'm sure they're probably having fun and not really worried too much about the 1 goal loss, but had so many goal opportunities and some open net opportunities that they just weren't able to connect on. So, I mean, in my opinion, if you're that team in that position where, you know, you should have scored a handful of times, you just weren't able to, at the very least, you should be proud of yourselves that you were able to get those scoring opportunities, and you just think about that going forward, that, you know, the next time you see them, you'll put them in. So, you know, it's not, you know, they played very well. Again, they didn't have the ping advantage like they had last game, but they only held them to 1. They weren't able to score any of themselves, but you have to think if they scored any of those, they would have been winning that game. So Twisted Tail is definitely playing very well. Again, I just want to point out Bax is also playing incredible.
Yeah, and I am going to let them know that we're going to try and check Avid's ping when we get to the server. And we're going to see if we can get him a good... we're going to see if we can get him a good server. Sorry, I'm trying to type and talk at the same time. It's kind of confusing. But we want to try and make sure that this stays competitive. And what do you think Twisted Tails needs to do? They looked really good in this last one, but just couldn't get a EU thing. Or, I'm sorry, they're just trying to get a... See, I'm reading and doing too much. Like, they looked really good in that game.
Yeah, I understand what you said. I can answer your question. Yeah, they, on my opinion, I don't think they need to do anything. They had so many opportunities based off of how they were playing. They just need to put them in the net. So I guess if there was one thing they should be doing, it's shooting on net. But they don't really need to change. You know, it's they just need to keep, like I was saying earlier, they just need to keep doing that, creating those opportunities, and then just when they have them, just connecting on them. And if they do that, they'll be more than fine. They probably should have scored, I think, at least 1 time, if not 2 times in that game. And so, you know, if they keep doing that, I think they will going forward. I don't think they miss those if those opportunities occur again. And yeah, if they keep doing that, they definitely can win this series.
All right, it looks like the first server worked out for Avid here. So we're going to continue going, and everybody's going to join the game. And we're going to see how this one goes. Avid definitely being on a bit better ping this time, being down at that 110 region. So he said good to go. So we're just going to go with the first one. Hopefully it works out. If not, they're going to be looking at having to win 2 in a row. But obviously, Liska and Sharky going to have a lot better ping here, and we'll have a chance to try and take this to match point. We're going to see what they do with this opportunity, as obviously a lot of these chances don't come very often with them constantly playing against West players, and that is going to be a bad touch from Joshi, as Aerolax is going to take the credit for this one. But I mean, you try to read it, it's the car meta. It comes back to haunt him, and that's just tough. What are you gonna do?
Everything seems to come in waves. You know, last week we had basically, I don't know what, at least 10 double taps that entire day, and there's been a lot of own goal so far today, unfortunately. A little bit of awkwardness. You know, you have to laugh at it. You know, you can't take that too seriously. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we are seeing, again, and I'll say the same thing to Twisted Tails in this game that I was talking about with LumiMawcity last game. When you have these server swaps like we're having, you definitely do not want to be dropping a game on the server that benefits you. So if you're Twisted Tails here and you want to win the series, you're definitely looking to win this match. Because if you lose it and you go back to, that NA server, you've lost that advantage, and now you have to kind of fight back from that. So we're hoping to see, obviously, Liska, I'm sure, definitely wants to win this one in the EU, because that'll give them a little bit more of an advantage going back into EU, or NA, rather than if they were to lose this one.
Now, Aerolax getting that bump going to be crucial in allowing the defense to get back in the right spot, but a double commit is going to ring out.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, that's going to be so close to the net, but it's not going to go in. Bax is just a little bit too close to take the shot there. And Sharky tried for the double tap, but he was too close to the edge of that net. Not going to work out, but big clear. Let's get going to try and find a time to go up here. Plays the ground game instead. Sharky already up for this, but low boost has to read that one perfectly. Not able to do so. And Aerolax tries to take this one out. Levi over to the side. Has a lot of shots ringing out on the LumiMawcity net, and Sharky will get that tying goal.
Oh, what a touch from Baxis. This is so powerful into the corner, and that's so difficult to not only read but to get back to in time. You're kind of thinking, okay, this is going up. I can kind of play this off the wall, and then immediately it's pinched down, and Josh is just so quick to that one. Tie this one back up. So again, Baxis is playing so incredibly well. Of course, Joshy's playing well, but that's to be expected. We expect those SSL players to be able to read those, and he's done such a good job of it so far. So doing what he's supposed to be doing. And Twisted Tails looking to be a little bit more awkward than they should be on the server, but definitely not playing poorly. I think maybe not jitters, but with how maybe a little bit more, LumiMawcity is a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more used to playing on the EU servers after losing that game one. Not quite having as big of an advantage. It's an unfortunate touch. Not sure what happened here. Josh is a little bit awkward, backward, can't jump for that immediately, and Liska gets an unfortunate touch. I don't know if I'd call that one an own goal. I think that was going in either way. LumiMawcity will take the lead with 2:15 left in the game.
Now Arrow off the kickoff, not going to be able to get that redirect off of the sidewall. You could see he was going for it though. Joshy not able to get a touch. It's over Baxis, and Liska, last line of defense, gets a really nice flick towards the center of the net, but Aerolax will be there in place. However, LumiMawcity looking kind of awkward on that defensive line early on in this exchange. Levi will get the clear that is needed for them though, and we'll be able to move the ball out. Now Aerolax trying to put that mid, but no one's going to be there, so he has to follow this one up with a touch of his own. Levi is going to have this off. It's awkward for Joshy. He gets a touch over to the side, and that allows them to stall long enough to get back in the right position. Liska, no boost in the tank. Sharky gonna have to take a shot. It's gonna be a bit too shallow, and not able to get that tying goal just yet. 1:20 left for Twisted Tails to get this goal, and LumiMawcity is going to go to match point. Now Aerolax off the side, have to follow up. Sharky having to play this one patient and shadow it. Baxis will have the challenge. Let's get the last one in the net. Shot rings out, but it's going to be off to the side, off the post once again. And the counterattack comes through as a minute rings out on the clock.
Yeah, and again, this is just some opportunities here for Twisted Tails. They're just not quite able to get the touches that they want. So seeing some of the balls go a little bit farther away from them, having to stretch. And then, of course, they're not able to make the plays that they want. And, of course, that has a domino effect, which is causing the boost meters to be a little bit lower than they should be. As we see an opportunity to come through, Baxis takes a shot, but Levi's up to that one incredibly quick. Levi's also been playing very well. It's a nice cut from Baxis, leaves Levi a little bit awkward. So Liska will be able to make a play on that ball. 20 seconds left. I'm sure that Twisted Tails would love to be able to tie this one, but they're going to need to make a move now. She does have full boost, but gets beaten by Ovid. That might just put an end to their Game 3 hopes.
And that might just do, as Baxis tries to keep this one alive. Sharky has no boost, and LumiMawcity is going to win game number 3. Going to match point. And we'll have to see what Twisted Tails does for this game number 4.
Yeah, and unfortunately for for Twisted Tails rather, That's not the server you want to be losing on. And it was somewhat close, but not incredibly close. Or not as close as they want it to be in their favor. And it's kind of like the last game where they get, they only let up to 1 goal, but they weren't able to score any themselves. And now on the EU servers, they were able to score, but not, they weren't able to pull it and tie it there in the end there. So we'll have to see if that can not stick in their heads going into this game 4. And of course, we are going back to US East as well, so they have to think about that as well.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see exactly. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. We're gonna have to see what they want to do to adapt in this game number 4. They played really well in that, but just a few opportunities missed. I think that they still have a very good chance of getting us to a game 5, though, and they are still ahead on goal differential, so that it still has a chance to make a difference here. And I am just checking to make sure. Sharky wants to do a ping test real quick on the East servers to make sure they are all good. And we are going to get that set up as we get into some of these replays. But obviously you give the courtesy to NA, we'll give the courtesy to the EU players as well. And with, I guess, for more of a behind the scenes look, Avid was telling me they were all getting 120 to 130 ping in that game 1. So we're gonna see where we're at for Twisted Tales on this first one. And it looks like they're both it looks like they've got 108, so it looks like they should be pretty good. And Sharky says it's all right, so we're gonna get ahead and go into game number 4, and we'll see what Twisted Tales can do here. Are they going to be able to take this match to a game number 5, or are we going to be at the end of our stream today?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. This is not necessarily the position that I'm sure Twisted Tales wanted to be in. Match point not going in their favor, and they're also on US East, which, and for Joshy, probably not that big of a deal. He's played quite a bit on these servers, but definitely have an advantage on those EU servers. They weren't able to pull that one away in the last one. So now they are on match point on US East, which is a little bit difficult, probably not ideal. We're already seeing a ton of pressure, but that just go in. It does.
That's insane from Sharky. My goodness, I can't believe that. What a pinch.
I don't even know what happened here.
That's so smart.
Oh my goodness. And that's insane. I have no words for that. Ironically, I was about to say it looked like all of the pressure was going in LumiMawcity's favor, but they find a way to pinch that one all the way across the field and immediately directly into LumiMawcity's net.
My goodness, Sharky, that was absolutely incredible. I didn't realize that was intentional. That is why I said, oh no, at the beginning. I thought it was a mistake. But seeing Sharky actually go up for that one, it makes a lot more sense now, and that's an incredible play coming out from Sharky, just finding the perfect angle to pinch that out, and that's going to work really well for Twisted Tales, and that's exactly what you want to see in Game 4, as I believe they are still up in goal differential here, so they are, every single goal counts for them and for LumiMawcity. LumiMawcity, I think, needs to win this game by at least 2 to tie up the goal differential at this point. They've had, I think they've had 2 one-goal games, one after the other. I can't remember the exact scores, but it's definitely close, but I do know Twisted Tales still has the advantage. So they're going to just want to try and keep this lead as long as possible. And that's going to help them out as Sharky plays it low, Aerolax is high, and that's not going to work out for LumiMawcity. Twisted Tales up by 2.
Yeah, as you were saying, Twisted Tales only needs to really win by 1, and they'll still get that goal advantage. But what a play! Again, they're giving Baxis so much respect. He was able to fake that one. Joshy just comes out of nowhere and slots that super low. Of course, when you're trying to come off the backboard and going down to that, that's the hardest place to get to in time and get a quality touch on it. So, well played from the side of Twisted Tails. They find themselves up 2, immediately looking a lot better than they were in the last 2 games, as they were not able to really do that earlier on. I'm not sure if this is Twisted Tails playing better, or if this is maybe a little bit too much comfortable. Maybe LumiMawcity's feeling a little bit too comfortable here. They're kind of just waiting around, waiting for the ball to go their way. Of course, as I say that works in their favor, as Aerolux finds himself in the perfect spot for this 50, and that will go and lower the deficit to just 1 with 2:36 left in the game.
And you saw Avid there gets the touch on the ball and then leaves Baxis as the ball had already passed him, go straight for the bump on Sharky, and that put him just far enough into the net that he wasn't going to be able to get out and get the save. And that's what LumiMawcity might want to resort to, is some of those offensive demo and bump plays, as they have been working out for the squad. Now they're going to try and counterattack right here. Past 1, Avid is going to be up for this one. Sharky playing that to the side, and you can see Avid immediately got another bump on him, and it causes the tying goal. LumiMawcity back in this one.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. Baxis gets the full boost, but not quite in time. And I think that actually, I think it was a 50 maybe, because I think Liska was totally expecting that to go a little bit off to the side, but then it immediately goes not that direction. And so that full commit that way, and of course the ball doesn't go that way, it makes it a little bit of a whiff. But I think that 50 might have thrown Liska off. We do have a tying goal. And again, if you're Twisted Tails, I'll say the same thing I said last series. You've been able to get the lead, and LumiMawcity's had to play catch-up. So it's not the end of the world to have that tying goal. Obviously, you want to be able to win this game, so you want the goal advantage. But if LumiMawcity's having to play catch-up to your lead goals, it's not be too incredibly hard on the mental.
And now Avid trying to get off the corner, but nobody from LumiMawcity is going to have the boost to move forward on that. Levi going up for another touch, but Airlax calls them off. Liska's in an awkward position, but Avid can't get the touch over them. That's going to be another goal clear. Could have been the game-winning, match-winning goal for LumiMawcity. It's not going to go that way. 1:08 on the clock left. Tied game. And both of these teams desperate for this game win. I'm sure LumiMawcity does not want to go to game 5. Aerolax trying to keep it that way. Sharky going to be off to the side of the net, and Aerolax with the clear. Liska going to have to turn back for this. Gets the full boost in the corner. Moves above the net. Air dribble to the side, but Levi will be the first one there. And this is very close for LumiMawcity, but not going to find it, as Twisted Tails will clear it and looks for the counterattack. Demo on one of the players from LumiMawcity. They're going to get back into the play, and they just barely beat Baxis to this ball. 30 seconds left, and we're still tied.
Yeah, and the plays coming out of Twisted Tails are so good. They're beating out, and they're bumping. They're definitely trying to get that goal lead. Have not been able to commit as a double commit with Aerolax, and Levi comes out, but Aerolax has enough boost to make sure that he gets a good quality touch off to the side. Baxis, again, nice touch as Joshi goes for a bump play. That leaves Liska alone, but Liska does a very good job to make sure that that stays dangerous. So I'm sure Twisted Tails will play for the overtime, and that's exactly what we have. We have overtime game 4. This is the deciding game. LumiMawcity scores, they go. This is the win for them. Twisted Tails scores, we go to game 5. We'll have to see if we're able to maybe see Champions Field. It'll all start with Twisted Tails being able to connect on some of these offensive pressure that they've been having.
And Twisted Tails in a rough spot! And he's gonna get the goal! And that's gonna be the end of the match. LumiMawcity takes it once again.
Oh my!
It's
been so quickly. Yeah, it's so unfortunate. I don't think anyone on Twisted Tails team expected the ball to pop out that direction. Liska no boost, and yeah, that has to hurt. They played so incredibly well. Just again, very unlucky team. Brought it to overtime again. Not able to commit there, or I say commit. They're not able to convert there, and unfortunately, they lose in 4.
And that's so rough. I really wanted to see a game 5. I was hoping it would get all the way there, even if it was even with it going to EU ping. I think LumiMawcity did have a good chance there. I think Twisted Tails had a really good chance at winning that series, and I would love to see them get their second win, but this week, just not the right week. They'll go next, they'll figure out what went wrong and come back to the drawing board, but I always love to see Twisted Tails play. They always pull off some insane play at least once per series, like that pinch from Sharky. I definitely wanted to see more of that, but you know, hats off to LumiMawcity. They played it well. That first game definitely did not go in their favor, and as I said, with the ping issues they were having, that's to be expected. But they really showed up after that game number 1, and they just took the momentum and ran with it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. They had a close one there in game 3, and you had to think that momentum of being able to win on EU gave them a ton of confidence going back to NA East with that match point, and I'm sure that gave them a lot of confidence being able to pull that one out for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Fire is back just yet, but if he is, Fire, thoughts on the match?
I mean, hats off to both teams. I think Twisted Tails played really well in that series. It felt closer than a 3-1 series for sure, and they have nothing to be disappointed about. I'm sure it's not the way they wanted it to go, but at the same time, they still played incredible. And I mean, look at LumiMawcity. They show up again, and they're proving to be a very strong team in this league.
Yeah, I think that they really are. They're showing up in quite a way here, and with that, guys, I mean, you know, we still got a little bit of time. We're gonna be waiting for some of these the replays for the end of the day to be ready, but that's the end of the matches for day number 1. And Docky, I was saying this earlier to Fire, but we are officially at the 1/4 mark of the end of the league. We are a quarter of the way through league play, and we've had quite a few great matches. And you know, it's kind of insane how we're at this point where at this point last season we were already doing mid-season.
Yeah, it's long. I think it gives like the scope of it's insane, which is why I feel like I've been advocating for, and I will continue to advocate for. The biggest question you should ask yourself, even win or loss, the biggest question you should always ask yourself is, hey, did you guys have fun? Because it's a long season, and if you're not, that's going to really make it difficult. So if you're in for the long haul and you definitely want to have a good chance of making some of those playoff pushes, you're going to need to be able to handle losses and changes. So if you can have fun, that'll go a long way, because we've had a long time, and it's crazy to think about how we're already a quarter of the way through, but it's also crazy to think about how we're only a quarter of the way through.
Yeah, it is absolutely incredible to think that we are barely through any of this actual league, but that's just, as you said, the scope of it. And I do want to talk about the matches that we have for the rest of the weekend, as we've got another day going tomorrow, guys, and we have 3 more incredible games to show off for you guys. We're going to have Cloud9 versus Paws, Black Bunny Gaming versus FoxClan, and ending the day with X3 Tactics versus Protogen Rebellion. That one is one that I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm looking forward to all of the matches. I hope that they are very good. And, I mean, what are you guys looking forward to for tomorrow?
Hopefully game 5.
I mean, always hoping for some game 5s, but I mean, the game that how could you not say that you're looking forward to a team or a matchup that has 2 very similar teams on the leaderboard, which is going to be FoxClan and Black Bunny. I am really excited for that game, and I'm hoping that it proves to be as good as it has the potential to be. So
yeah, I have to agree. I think I'm definitely looking forward to X3 and Protogen. I think that both teams are going to have a good chance there. X3, it would be such a storyline to have the 12th place team of the league knock out the first place team for their first loss. But the funny thing about this league is the teams are so close that definitely has a possibility of happening. And that's what's so great about this is all the teams are so close and they're really making everybody else fight for these wins. But that being said, guys, we are done for the day here. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Hope you all have a great night. Remember to come back here tonight to watch some RFDL After Dark. We're going to pal around with the guys on the desk. Aeroax might be there because he's sick, but he might not be. But me and Fire are going to be having a bit of a run ourselves on some different settings that we're not quite used to. And of course, all of your general fun that we usually have during RFDL After Dark. It's going to be a great time. And be sure to be back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. EST for day 2 of RFDL Week 6. That's all for now, guys. Have a great night. And we will see you later tonight for RFDL After Dark. Peace out, everybody.
See you.
Deuces.